Alright. It is freaking hot today. I'm like baking alive. It's unbelievable. Alright. The warmth of Lukako's hand slips away as the vertigo hits me. Oh, right. Oh, yeah. I'm still at the shrine, but I no longer feel Lukako clinging to my back. I turn around slowly. Oh, already! Already? Lukako is standing a short distance away, as if to see me off. No tears, just a bewildered smile. My chest feels like it's about to burst. I hold it back.
Na, Lukako.
はい。
お前は
I hesitate for a moment, but I have to know.
男だよな。
はい。そうですけど。
She is gone. He has returned. Cuter than any girl. Looks good in Miko robes. But he's a guy. I bite my lip.
お前は俺のこと好きか？
いきなり何を？
好きか？
その
Alright, now that's just, I'm gonna be honest, that's just mean. Come on, Okube.
尊敬してます。
He respects me? I don't deserve his respect. But that's not what matters now. Lukako's answer seemed clear, but it wasn't. He didn't answer the question.
男に戻ったら岡田さんへのこの気持ち封印しなくちゃいけないから。
Lukako might still like me, even though he's a guy again. However, he'll never speak honestly about those feelings. This is what Lukako decided for himself. It would be wrong to pry any further. Maybe I'm just running away. Maybe I should pry, force him to confront his feelings. But I'm not strong enough to accept the consequences. I'll just end up hurting Lukako.
ありがとう。お前にはこれからもずっと俺の弟子でいてほしい。それでいいか？
はい、もちろんです。
I look away, unable to bear his shy smile. The world line has changed. Lukako is a guy again. Which means the IBN 5100 should be here at the shrine. On the previous world line, girl Lukako broke the IBN 5100 while cleaning the storehouse. But guy Lukako didn't clean the storehouse. He never broke the IBN 5100. It's 6:46 p.m. Judging by past experience, it is very likely that I've averted Mayuri's death for today, but just in case, I should get back to the lab within the hour.
ルカ子、お前は去年この神社の倉庫で古いパソコンを壊した覚えがあるか？
古いパソコンですか？そんなものうちにはなかった気がしますけど。僕パソコンはよくわからなくて、ろくに触ったこともないんです。
When Lukako was a girl, she trembled when I asked her the same question. And then she forced a smile, as if to avoid admitting that she broke the computer. But he's not trembling now. Lukako honestly doesn't know.
父上に会わせてくれ。
I asked Lukako to fetch his father for me, so I can ask him whether or not the IBN 5100 was in the storehouse.
古いパソコン？確かにそんな記憶がありますね。
Man, I was not expecting to be hit. So, I mean, I guess I was, but also, ow, my feelings.
見てきましょう。ちょっと待っていてください。
He heads into the storeroom out back, just like on the previous world line. But on the previous world line, the IBM 5100 was no longer in the storehouse, since Girl Lukako had secretly moved it. How will it turn out this time? Luca's dad returns after about 10 minutes. His expression is grave. That's all the answer I need. Nothing has changed.
見つかりません。なくなっています。
I quickly glance at Lukako's face. Blank. He doesn't seem to know anything. Lukako is innocent, I'm sure of it.
倉庫の鍵が壊されていました。何者かが持ち去ったかもしれません。
持ち去った？
It didn't disappear? A thief took it?
重いものを引きずったような跡がありました。年末に大掃除をした時にはあんな跡はありませんでしたし、鍵も1ヶ月ほど前にたまたま確認した時は壊されていませんでした。まさか泥棒に入られるとは。
じゃあ警察に届けないと。
While they discuss what to do, I sigh and consider the situation.
倉庫にないと意味がないんだ。
The IBM 5100 is still out of reach. There are 2 D-mails left to cancel. Something tells me that if I cancel just one more, I can get back the IBM 5100. But which one?
岡部さん、なんだかよくわからないですけど、気を落とさないでください。そんなことどうでもいいの精神ですよ。
I chuckle. I too chuckle. I also indeed chuckle. Lukako's so adorable when he's trying to cheer me up. But he's a guy.
その言葉、使い方が間違っているぞ。
I wave goodbye and leave the shrine. It matters not. 2 D-mails remain. First, the one I sent to myself with the winning Lotto 6 numbers. That one should be easy to cancel. The problem is the other one, the one sent by someone I wish I could forget. Kiryu Moeka. I know the gist of her D-mails since she sent it as part of our early experiments. When Moeka asked to send a D-mail, I agreed under 2 conditions. First, make the contents simple enough that the D-mail's effects would be obvious. Second, make the contents public to all lab mems. Moeka ended up sending a D-mail to prevent herself from buying a new phone a few days prior. The D-mail was sent to July 31st, an easy date to remember. The question is how it relates to the theft of the IBM 5100. It must be the butterfly effect, as it was with Lukako's D-mail. This time, however, I will not hesitate to do what is necessary. Kiryu Moeka does not deserve my sympathy. That woman and her men have killed Mayuri more times than I can bear to remember. I will show her no mercy. There's just one problem. The cancellation D-mail needs to be sent from Moeka's own phone. I don't think a message from me telling her not to change phones would sway Moeka's intentions in the slightest. I need her phone, but I don't know where to find her. What do I do? I return to the lab and set things up so I can time leap at a moment's notice. Fortunately, that isn't necessary.
お腹いっぱい。マユシーは今日はほとんど何も食べてなかったから、ずっとペコペコだったんだよ。
Joy has returned, and her name is Mayuri. Ah!
明日もあるの？明日だけじゃなくて、明後日もあるの。
Alright, you get one too, Kurisu. Boop. Mayuri just got back from Kamema 30 minutes ago. She and Kurisu, who stayed behind at the lab, have just finished eating cup noodles. It's already past 8, and so far, nothing has happened. Mayuri is still alive. Going by the pattern, her death has probably been postponed until about this time tomorrow. Is this the will of some higher being? God, fate, the universe itself? Or is it merely coincidence? That doesn't matter now.
さてさて、マユシーは明日早いからもう帰るね。
Mayuri takes a big stretch and starts getting ready to go home. She's been up since 5 this morning. Looks like she plans to wake up early tomorrow, too. That reminds me, I haven't seen Daru at all. He's fighting in the Kamima Holy War too, so that doesn't surprise me. Busy checking his spoils, I guess.
ねえねえ、クリスちゃんやオカリンはコミマ行かないの？
I know it literally means, I know it's literally just like a cute term. Ever since playing Anonymous Code, I can't see the phrase Holy War without thinking of that shit. Jesus Christ. It's like, oh god, where are they?
俺はパスだが助手が行きたいそうだ。
はあ？
Kurisu jumps up at my answer.
ちょっと岡部、何勝手に捏造してんのよ。
さっきまで興味津々な様子でマユリのコスプレ話を聞いていたではないか。
そうだけど、誰も行くとは言ってない。行こうよ、クリスちゃん。
I know that Kurisu is an at-channeler, but is she an otaku? Not all at-channelers are otaku, but she has often hinted at an interest in cosplay.
お断りよ。人が多すぎて息が詰まりそう。今日と比べるとね、2日目はそんなに多くないよ。午後から来れば快適そのものなんだから。人気のある同人誌なんかは売り切れちゃうけどね。岡部がついてきなさいよ。あんた、マユリの保護者でしょ？違うよ。マユシーはね、オカリンの人質。ああ、はいはい、そうだったな。人質に逃げられちゃまずいでしょ。手錠でもかけて同行すれば？
俺にはこの秋葉でやらなければならないことがある。
何よ、やらなきゃならないことって。
Search for Kiryu Moeka. I already sent her an email. We need to talk. And now I'm awaiting her reply. Well, now I'm curious. Is that actually, I love how consistent this shit is. Yeah, there it is. How about that? Oh, actually, yeah, these are, yeah. It's from the Suzuha one. I love it. Something tells me it's not going to work.
無言ってことは単に行きたくないだけか。
クリスティーナ、話がある。
また？相変わらず唐突ね。
またとはどういう意味だ？
別に。話って何？最近オカリンとクリスちゃん仲良しさんだよね。いつも2人で話し込んでるもん。マユシーも秘密の会議に参加したい気持ちでいっぱいです。
Mayuri, no! Don't be sad. Don't ever be sad, please. Oh god. Wait. Computer doing a thing? That's not what I meant to do. God damn it. Oh, fucking. Oh. Computer.
タイムリープマシンについての協議をしているだけだ。おそらくマユリが参加してもちんぷんかんぷんだと思うぞ。
Not entirely accurate, but not a lie either.
そしてこれからクリスティーナに話そうとしているのは、いかにしてこいつを小見舞い行かせるかという内容だ。マユリを期待して待っていろ。ふーはははは。
がとね、オカリ。
Mayuri waits in the lab as I take Kurisu outside.
というわけでクリスティーナ、
コミマに行くつもりはないから。
お前さっきまたと言ったな。ここでこうして1対1での相談を何度もしているということで間違いないか？
ついに記憶に錯乱が見られるようになったか。狂気のマッドサイエンティストさんはアセチルコリンが減少してるんじゃない？
Okay, I'll guess I'll learn what that means. Acetylcholine? Acetylcholine? That word. This word. A neurotransmitter. This thing, levels in the hippocampus increase when learning or remembering. Needs. Oh my god. That's, you know, normally I'm okay with pronouncing words, big words. Fuck this. Fuck this word. I don't know. Acetylcholine. I'm gonna assume that's like a soft C. That wouldn't make sense. Acetylcholine. Acetylcholine. Fuck it.
真面目に答えろ。
あんたなんか変よ。
頼む、答えてくれ。
答えるも何も岡部がさっき言った通りよ。もう 4,5 回くらいこうして外に出て2人でタイムリープマシンをどうするかについて話してる。
俺がタイムリープしていることについては。
For an instant, Kurisu opens her eyes wide in surprise. That sounds like a no to me, Chief. But then she gives me an angry glare.
知ってるの？
I nod.
かれこれ10回以上だ。
そんなに？何勝手な真似してんのよ。
Looks like she doesn't know anything about Lukako or my shifting between world lines. But that's only natural. So far, I've changed world lines a total of 3 times. Let's call the first world line where Mayuri died Alpha 1. The world line where Ferris and I fought the viral attackers is Alpha 2. The world line where I dated girl Lukako is Alpha 3. And now I'm on Alpha 4. From my perspective, Alpha 1, 2, and 3 were undone by my D-mails. But for Kurisu and everyone else on Alpha 4, those world lines were nothing but separate, intangible possibilities to begin with. I guess I have to explain everything again. I sigh heavily, then begin.
おおむね把握した。
After I'm done, Kurisu sighs and lightly pats my arm.
あんまり無茶しないで。
上司に励まされるとは屈辱だな。
なんで屈辱なのよ。せっかく優しくしてやったのに。ほんといちいち偉そうだなあんた。
同情などいらない。すべては俺の軽率な行動が起こしたことだ。自業自得なんだって上司にこの話をするのはかれこれ4回目か5回目くらいだが、毎回こうやって自虐的になるな。
岡部、
俺の心配よりマユリの心配をしてくれ。おそらくマユリは明日死ぬ。どんな死に方かはわからない。
If Mayuri stays away from the lab, she can probably avoid running into Moeka and her men. It doesn't matter though, she'll die all the same. All Alpha world lines converge on her death. Escaping the attractor field is the only way to save her.
お前には悪いと思うが、明日マユリの死を見届けてほしい。
だからコミマに行けって言ったのか。
死は回避できない。抵抗は無駄だ。お前は見届けて俺に連絡するだけでいい。お前からの連絡が来たらタイムリープする。
マユリが死ぬのが分かっていながら 何もできないなんて。全然実感が湧かないけど、事実なんでしょうね。あんたの目を見ればわかる。大丈夫？
大丈夫じゃない。マユリを助けるためにはまだ。
マユリのこともそうだけど、
Risu interrupts me.
私が聞いたのはあんたのこと。
俺がどうしたって。
あんまり気負いすぎないで。
It's rare for her to look so concerned for me.
言っただろ。俺の心配よりマユリの心配をしろと。俺は明日桐生萌香を探す。
If Mayuri doesn't die tomorrow, I can postpone the time leap. If Mayuri does die tomorrow, I'll return to the past no matter what.
できればマユリに痛い思いをさせたくないがな。
だったら今からタイムリープしちゃえばいい。
この世界線においていつがデッドラインなのか、それを見極めておかないと計画をうまく立てられないだろう。
こんなこと言うとなんだけど、私はマユリが死ぬところなんて見たくない。
気持ちはわかるが頼めるのはお前しかいない。
ずいぶん信用されてるのね。
何しろお前は俺の助手だからな。
Kurisu forces a laugh at my feeble attempt at a joke.
偉そうに。
We have our plan. Kurisu will go to her first Kamima. Mayuri will be so delighted when I tell her the news. I just, you know, Assistant, headed out. Joined up with Mayuri, we're heading out to Ariake. Kinda excited, lol. Oh my god. Dude, she's she's so funny in text. So many people. I had no idea it would be this crowded. Save me, Ors. Oh my lord. Wait, I still have more? What? Oh, Mayuri. Morning, Ocarine. I'm heading off now. Oh, Mayuri. Alright. I haven't seen Mayuri all day. Whoops. I want to be with her, of course, but that's not possible. Moeka hasn't replied, which means I have to find her myself. Unfortunately, I don't know anything about her. My only clue is Arc Rewrite, the company Moeka supposedly worked at. I find it after a quick search online. Sure enough, their business is producing articles for PC magazines. Luckily, their office is in Akiba. I try calling first, but it goes to voicemail. I guess they're still closed for the Oban holiday. Or maybe it's just a bad time? Looks like I've got no choice but to visit them in person. It's the second day of Kamima, and Akiba is deserted. Most of the otaku are lined up at Big Sight right now. I've experienced the craze of Kamima several times firsthand. It's literal war. It scares me whenever Mayuri goes alone. I can't help but imagine her trampled by a horde of crazed otaku. But in reality, Mayuri's surprisingly quick and tough. I've seen her weave through crowds like you wouldn't believe. She is a veteran soldier of the Kamima battles. I don't know. Kurisu's the one more likely to get trampled, but true. I can't help but feel sorry for her. Maybe it was wrong to ask her to go. I find the Arc Rewrite office in a fancy-looking building on the outskirts of Akiba. I take the elevator up, but there's nobody there. I lean against the wall and wait. After about 30 minutes, a man dressed in a shirt and tie appears. I explain that I'm a relative of Kiryu Moeka and ask for her contact info. I dead-ass lie to this man. But he gives an unexpected answer.
そんな名前のバイトはうちにはいないな。
いない？
Damn, I've been tricked. I should have known better. Moeka is working for CERN. Of course her place of employment is fake. Is this the end of the line? Just as I'm about to turn around and leave, the man pounds his hand as if he remembered something.
いや待った。 確か2日だけ来て音信不通になったバイトの女がいたな。そいつが桐生って名前だったような。
Does anyone actually do that? Has anyone ever like been thinking and been like, I remember that? Is that a thing, or is that just? I feel like that's literally just in TV, like cartoons and shit. Aha! I remember. No one does that. It's not a thing. There's no
まだ
way,
履歴書
right?
残ってたかな。
I've never seen that in real life. I frantically bow my head and ask him to look for it. He's reluctant, but acquiesces. The address listed on the resume leads me to a beat-up old apartment. Not the sort of place you'd expect a single young woman to live. I feel a strange unease as I approach the apartment. For some reason, there's a police car parked in front of the complex. A uniformed officer is standing out front. And one room on the second floor, room 202, Moika's, has a blue sheet covering the door. What's going on here? I walk up to the police officer.
すいません。あそこの部屋の人は引っ越したんですか？
あ？違うよ。
じゃあ
君、関係者？
知り合いです。
何も聞いてないの？
The police officer looks uncomfortable. The bad feeling in my gut is getting worse.
何が起きたんですか？
自殺だよ。
Suicide? But why?
それはいつ？
昨日だ。
そんな。
ご遺体は近くの千代田第三病院に運ばれてるはずだから。身寄りが誰もいないみたいでね。困ってたんだ。会いに行ってやってくれないかな。
I bow my thanks and leave. She's dead? Moika's dead? What's going on? It doesn't make sense. Suicide? Moika, who killed Mayuri in cold blood, committed suicide? Or is this part of the conspiracy? Could her own men have killed her, then made it look like a suicide? Today is the 16th. On Worldline Alpha 1, Moika raided the lab on the 13th. 3 days have passed since then. Each time I change world lines, Mayuri's death gets pushed back 1 day, so does Moika's raid. It hasn't happened yet on this world line. So why did she die? I don't get it. This is the first time this has happened. How should I deal with this? What should I do? I squat on the ground and cradle my head in confusion. If Moika is dead, maybe Mayuri doesn't have to die. You're not that dumb, Okupe. Come on now. No, I don't think Convergence is that kind. Fate demands Mayuri's death. Whenever I try to stop it, something interferes. True, I'm the one who meddled with the timeline, but haven't I paid the price already? How did all of this happen? A few weeks ago, I was just a college student with a severe case of chunibyo. Save for Mayuri's grandmother, I had never experienced the death of anyone close to me. Death had no place in my life. But how many times have I faced death these past 3 days? More when you count the loops I've made. My heart can't take it anymore. I don't know how much longer I can go on. One more. Just one more D-mail to cancel. If I can just get my hands on Moika's phone.
タイムリープだ。
Moika died yesterday around noon. I can go back to before that happened. The reason she died isn't important. Whether Mayuri's murderer kills herself is of no concern to me. I just need to cancel that D-mail. Upon returning to the lab, I casually look up at the second floor window. And what I see shocks me to my core.
放電現象。
Fuck. Someone is using the time leap machine. Who? Mayuri and Daru should be at Kamima. Not even Kurisu should be here. I asked her to escort Mayuri yesterday. Besides, she's against changing the past. So who? Building shakes. The vibration reaches the street. I can't let this happen. The timeline mustn't be tampered with again. I need to stop it now. I race up the stairs to the lab. By the time I get in there, the shaking has stopped. I quietly peek into the development room. Nobody's there. The door was unlocked. Anyone could have walked right in. How could we be so careless? The time leap machine is still faintly warm, so somebody did use it. Who? Did they time leap? This is the first time someone else has used the time leap machine. Just to make sure, I checked the X68000. As expected, the history's been erased. The same thing happens when we send a D-mail. There's nothing I can do about this. It worries me, but I have to focus on Moeka. I set up the time leap machine. The maximum leap time is 48 hours. To leap more than that, you need to leap 48 hours, then leap again. The 42-inch CRT is on downstairs. That's plain as day, since the discharge phenomenon just occurred. I put on the headgear. Preparations complete. Should I really leap now? It'd be ridiculous. Of course I should. Yes, you should. No deliberations. We're doing this. No, this. Oh, should I go? Should I not? Let's fucking go. Suddenly, the empty room is full of familiar faces. Mayuri is sitting on the sofa, working on her costumes and rubbing her tired eyes. Daru is at his PC, muttering to himself. Kurisu is in the development room, tinkering with the phone wave named subject to change. Where's Moeka now? Should I try going to her apartment again? Honestly, I'm afraid to meet her face to face. I don't know what I might do. Can I send her a mail? Okay. Hey, can I send a mail to Captain Shining Finger? No? Okay. That woman killed Mayuri. Innocent Mayuri, sewing with all she's got. I've seen the blood drain from her body. I've seen the light fade from her eyes. If I see Moeka, will I be able to contain my rage? It doesn't matter. I can't run away. In order to save Mayuri, I must meet with Moeka. One of these days, I'm gonna learn to eat before I stream, and then I don't have to eat while I'm streaming. Crazy. It's one of these days I'm gonna learn that lesson. I head to Moeka's ratty apartment. There's no sign of the police this time. Moeka's suicide won't happen for another 4 days. I run up the iron stairs and stand in front of the door to the Unit 202. The lights aren't on inside. I start getting anxious. Maybe she's not here. There's no intercom, so I reluctantly knock on the door. No reply. I try again with the same result. Damn, might as well try the doorknob. Are you coming back to the lab today? Oh, Mayuri. She doesn't have to say anything. Mayuri could just like appear and I'd be like, oh, Mayuri! It's too much, man. I don't know, but don't worry. You don't have to worry about anything. It's unlocked. I take a deep breath. This could be a trap. Remember, we're not dealing with an ordinary person. Moeka is a rounder, an agent of CERN. If I die here, what will happen to Mayuri? Will Kurisu or Daru use the time leap machine to save her? I need to be careful. But at the same time, I can't save Mayuri by doing nothing. So I steel myself, open the door, and peek inside. The apartment is dark, too dark to see, but I feel someone's presence. I step inside. The apartment is practically empty. Minimal furnishings. Only the barest necessities of life. But there, by the window, is a figure in the moonlight. A woman is sitting on the floor, her head bowed. There's no one else here. I approach the woman and stare down at her, gritting my teeth in a desperate attempt to maintain control. Ever since the first time she killed Mayuri, I've tried my best to avoid thinking about this woman. But now, I have no choice. Oh boy. I can't accomplish my goal until I have the answers I need from her. I must obtain the IBN 5100 to escape the Alpha Attractor Field and rescue Mayuri.
Kiryu Moeka.
I had another name for her once. It hurts to remember. I force it to the back of my mind. She doesn't deserve that name. You disgrace the name of the Shining Finger! Moeka's fingers twitch. She sluggishly lifts her head. But she doesn't look up. She stares at my feet instead. She finally speaks in a frail voice. Moeka has always had trouble speaking, but it seems especially severe today. I notice her hair and her clothes are disheveled. She looks awful, though I suppose that's no surprise, given she kills herself in 4 days.
FB なの。
FB?
I've heard that name before. If I'm not mistaken, that's her superior's code name.
なんだかくれないの。私言われた通りにやったのに。ねえ、FB。
The phone in Moeka's hand glows faintly. She's still clinging to it, I see.
私の何がいけなかった。直すよ。直すから見捨てないで。FB のためなら何でもする。返事をしてよ。答えてよ。私に指示を出して、私はそれに従う。命令して。命令。
At a loss for words. I wasn't expecting to find her in such a miserable state. She was so cold, so calm when she killed Mayuri. It's like she's a different person now. Is this another effect of the world line change? But it's only been a week since she sent her D-mail. How could she have changed so much? I get on my knees and shake Moeka by the shoulders.
Oi! 聞こえるか? Oi!
FB 連絡をちょうだいよ。
桐生萌か? おい! 俺だ! 岡部だ!
No response. Moeka just keeps crying and mumbling to herself. I shake harder, but she doesn't react. She doesn't even resist. Looking down, I notice that she's typing rapidly on her phone. Bewildered, I look at the screen. FB. That's a lot of FB. Just FB ad infinitum.
Oh my.
What happened to Moeka? From what little I understand it sounds like she's lost contact with her supervisor, FB. But I don't understand how that could turn Moeka into such a wreck. It doesn't matter. I don't care what happens to her. I'm here for one thing. Recalling my purpose, I reach for Moeka's phone. A sharp crack echoes through the room. Moeka slapped my hand away. It didn't hurt, but her reaction was lightning quick. Now Moeka curls up into a ball, hugging her phone tightly to her chest. It was like this from the moment I met her. She never let go of her phone, not even for a second, as if it were the only thing keeping her alive.
メールが来ないの。
FB とかいうやつからか。
メールが
I make several more attempts to take her phone while she babbles incoherently, but she just slaps my hand away each time. Next, I try persuasion. I promise to help her search for FB if she lends me her phone. It's a lie, of course, though come to think of it, I would like a piece of FB too. But that can wait until after I've saved Mayuri. Man, my timing is incredible with this. But Moeka doesn't buy it, if, that is, she heard me at all. Damn it, we're not getting anywhere. Maybe I should take it from her by force. But what if she tries to kill me before I can send the D-mail? In her current state, she might not have the strength to retaliate. On the other hand, if she does retaliate, there's not much I can do against someone with a gun. What should I do? Her gun. Where would she keep it? I quickly scan the room, but there's no sign of it. Crap, that startled me.
もしもし。
I stand up and move to the entrance, where I can take the call without letting Moeka out of my sight.
今どこよ。
悪いが取り込み中だ。
女なの？
Is it woman? Oh man, like when they're not rampant, when they're not insanely rampant like they were in Chaos Child, they're really funny. Is it woman?
お前の発想は実にスイーツかっこ笑いだな。
うるさいな。電話レンジの改良手伝うって約束したでしょ。よくそれでラボ弁ナンバー001を名乗れるな。
Ooh! Yo, that's below the belt, Christina.
誰に頼んでくれ。今日はそれどころじゃない。
一体何してんのよ。そこどこ？
桐生萌香のアパートにいる。
やっぱり女か。最低だな。
Has she not met Moeka in this world line? I quickly give Kurisu a simplified version of the usual explanation. Kurisu listens attentively, as she always does. Maybe she's more considerate than I give her credit for. How many times is he gonna have this realization? Maybe she's actually, like, not a piece of shit. How many times is he gonna realize that about her, and how many times is she gonna realize that about him? Like, they've had that realization like 20 times. As soon as I finish, Kurisu gives it to me straight.
強引に奪うしかないわね。
過激だな。ハリウッド映画の見過ぎか。
Kick her in the teeth. No.
相手はセルンの関係者よ。遠慮してたらこっちがやられるかもしれない。迷ってる場合じゃないでしょ。それでマユリを救えるんだから。あんたはヒョロヒョロで頼りなさそうだけど、さすがに今なら相対的に考えて勝てるはず。
Gee, thanks. Well, at least she's not beating around the bush. Suddenly, she lowers her voice. Yeah, you're no Polon, Okabe. You're no Polon.
こんな人格疑われそうだけど。いや、あんたに人格疑われたってどうでもいいけど。殺してでも奪い取るべきよ。
Kurisu, can we need to talk about this.
今、お前の人格を疑った。だが、偽善ぶらないところは好きだぞ、クリスティーナ。
好きってちょっと。
Oh my god. What's the matter with her now?
事実を言ったまでだ。俺なんかよりもよっぽど潔い。
You use the L word, Okabe. Fool.
で、意図を聞かせてくれ。殺すこともやむなしと考える理由がお前の中にある。そうだろう。だからそういう結論に達したはずだ。
よかった。それなりに冷静ね。あんたの話が本当か嘘かは定義できない。アトラクタフィールド理論っていう式を私はまだ完全には理解してないし、それでもあんたの説明をもとに考えると、桐生って人が4日後に自殺するなら彼女には死亡フラグが立っているっていう推論が成り立つ。世界が彼女の死を承認したっていうところね。因果が収束するなら、これまでの世界線では仮にあんたが彼女を殺そうとしても何らかの邪魔が入ってできなかったはず。あるいは殺した瞬間に世界線が大きく変わっていた。でもこの世界線でだけ考えるなら、彼女は近いうちに死ぬ。あんたはこれまでに何度も真由里の死を見てきたからわかるはず。重要なのは死んだという結果だけであって、過程はどうでもいいらしいってことをね。それと同じで、桐生って人の死に方は問わないと思う。
In other words, I can kill her instead of letting her commit suicide?
死が決まっているから殺しても構わないか。まるで殺人犯ばりの論旨展開だな。
偽善ぶるな。私は今人としての倫理を捨てて話してんのよ。岡部と付き合いなさい。
God damn it. She's unforgiving as always, but it actually feels nice to speak frankly like this.
だが法律はどうする？世界がそれを許しても社会は許さない。
タイムリープマシンがある限り、相手を殺しても時間を遡れば全てなかったことにできる。
God damn, Gurizu.
岡部は誰も殺さずに必要な情報だけを入手したっていう結果だけが残るわけ。
把握した。
ただこれだけは覚えておいて。全ては自己責任よ。これだけ好き放題言ってる私はかなり無責任だけど。
問題ない。実にマッドサイエンティスト的な意見だった。
さっさと型をつけなさい。じゃあね。
She hangs up without another word. Strangely, I find Kurisu's harsh tone encouraging.
お前は司令官かよ。
I manage a smirk as I close my phone. Moika's still sitting on the floor. Kill her if you have to, Kurisu said. Moika did the same to us. She doesn't deserve mercy. Kill her or let her live. It's my choice, my responsibility. Even after I undo the murder, the memory of my crime will remain with me. That sin, that guilt, I'll have to carry that weight. I mustn't ever forget. That's what Kurisu meant when she spoke of responsibility. Murder is unforgivable, no matter the circumstances. Can you understand that, Kiryu Moika? I reach for Moika's phone. This time, there's no hesitation. Gimme! Moika resists. I grab her slender hand and pin it to the window. Can we, like, pan up a little bit, maybe? The glass rattles from the force, but thankfully doesn't break. With my other hand, I pry the phone away from Moika's chest. She drives her foot straight into my solar plexus. The breath explodes from my lungs. I gasp for air. In a fit of anger, I raise my hand to strike. But at the last moment, I hesitate. Damn, what happened to killing her if I have to? I know we're past the point of playing nice, but I've never hit a girl in my life. I don't consider myself a model gentleman or anything, but the idea that men aren't supposed to hit women is such a strong part of my common sense that it stayed my hand almost like an instinct. So instead, I wrap my hand around Moeka's neck and squeeze. My instinct, I can't hit women. That's against my instincts. So I'll strangle her instead. What the fuck? Okay, my guy. What is that reasoning? What the fuck? Okay. Ah, yes, the perfect gentleman has never hit a woman. I've strangled a few, but you know. What the fuck? Oh my god, boy, I hope none of that gets taken out of context. When she tries to kick me again, I pin her legs under my own. Fuck, there's a lot of stuff that could be taken out of context in these games. Oh man, I've really put myself in quite the pickle. I squeeze harder. My fingers dig into her throat. She struggles for breath. I feel her throat moving as she gasps for air. Thank you. I can finally see my reflection in her tear-reddened eyes.
やっと俺を見たな。
I'm not sure how obvious this is, Moeka, but we don't like you. Moeka is under control, but now I don't have a free hand to take her phone. If I loosen my grip on her throat even slightly, it'll turn into a struggle again. Moeka is hiding her phone behind her back now. I need that phone. Should I let go of her hand or her neck?
携帯をよこせ。
Moeka weakly shakes her head.
出ないと殺せ。
I wonder if I even can. I can undo it with the time leap machine. It'll be the perfect crime, one that never happened. But still, do I really have it in me to murder someone? I don't know, but I have to try.
渡さないと殺すぞ。
No words leave Moeka's lips, just rough breathing. Stalemate. Neither of us shows the other any openings. We're practically motionless, but our breathing is ragged. It's taking all of my strength just to pin her down. Our rough breathing echoes through the room. For a moment, it even seems to synchronize. This is getting me nowhere. Oh, that sound they use for like the act of strangling, which is, it's weird that how often it happens in this series, but you know, that like creaking sound, I hate it. I remove my hand from her neck and then use my entire left arm to pin her against the wall in a guillotine choke. I don't think I've ever heard that term before, but I guess it makes sense, like a She starts groaning in pain. My right hand has her left hand up against the glass. Now I pull her hand down and transfer it to the grip of my left hand. Now my right hand is free. I slide it behind her back and go searching for her phone. I have to lean in close to do this. I press my body up against hers. Pain explodes in my jaw. I lean back. Moeka is readying another headbutt. I put more strength into the guillotine choke to stop her. Moeka's face twists in pain as she struggles to escape my grasp. My guillotine choke seems to be working. She doesn't have the strength to resist. If I push any harder, she really might die. I push harder. Moeka writhes in pain. Tears fall from her eyes and drool from her mouth. As her resistance weakens, my right hand finds Moeka's phone. She still has it in a tight grip, but I manage to tear it away. That's how you spell that. Isn't it obvious? That's how you spell that sound. I quickly release Moeka and step away. She bends over and coughs violently, but she still reaches out to me with tears in her eyes. She wants her phone back. I don't care. I look at the screen. It shows an email draft with a string of FBs entered. Jesus Christ. I clear the text and start typing a new mail. But her phone's different from mine, so I don't quite know how to use it. Let's see. Startled, I look up to see Moeka staggering to her feet. She's like a goddamn zombie. I quickly run outside and close the door behind me. Then I lean my entire body weight onto it so she can't open it from the inside. The doorknob rattles as she tries to open the door, and she starts pounding on the inside. It's a good thing the doors in Japan open out. You wouldn't see this in a Hollywood movie. Anyway, I have her phone. Now I just need to pretend to be Moeka and send the cancellation D-mail. Moeka's changes to the past will be cancelled. The world line will change. The IBN 5100 will come back to me. And then we'll hack into CERN. Mission complete. Fate won't have Mayuri this time. Victory will be mine.
はい、ナチセ。
D メールの設定を頼む。
変な音が聞こえるけど。
少しばかり修羅場中でな。
殺さなかったのね。Good job.
Good job. I tell her Moeka's address.
入力完了。
参りは
まだいる。ブラウン管工房で店長さんと話してる。42型ブラウン管をつけさせておくためにね。
話してないだろうな。
あの子が死ぬこと言えるわけない。
だったらいい。まだ切るなよ。
I put my phone down and resume typing into Moeka's phone. A middle-aged lady comes out of the apartment next door. Our eyes meet, so I put on a forced smile. The lady grins mockingly before going back inside. Hopefully to call the cops or something. Like, I'm not, that would probably not be a good thing in this scenario for our protagonist, but like, you see this, hopefully you call the cops, right? Like, I wonder what she was thinking. Maybe she thought it was a lover's quarrel. I hope not. In the mail, I write, model change, do it now, before sold out. Moeka's D-mail said don't change models. The desire for limited edition, hard to find products is hard-coded into Japanese DNA. Appealing to that instinct should work. The insistent pounding on the door grows louder. Now, I hear groaning from the other side. Can't believe how persistent she is. Is her phone really that important to her? I've already won. All I have to do is send the D-mail. I'll never forgive you, Moeka, but at least our relationship ends here. Let this be the last time we meet. I raise the phone to eye level. I take a deep breath. It ends now. I press send. No vertigo, no dizziness, nothing. Reading Steiner didn't activate.
なんでだよ。
Why didn't the world line change? Did the phone wave fail to function? I bring my own phone back to my ear. Kurisu is still on the line.
どうだ。
送ったの？
送った。ちゃんと動作したのか。
こっちはちゃんと放電現象を確認した。
正常に動作したんだな。
間違いなくね。
世界線が変わらない。
失敗した。原因は？
Consider the possibilities.
メールの文面では機種変をやめようとする萌えかを説得できなかったか。
送り先の日付を間違えた可能性は？
7月31日それは間違いない。
桐生って人が最初に送った D メールの着信時間を調べるべき。それより先か後かで受け取った側の印象はだいぶ変わる。
めんどくさいな。
The pounding on the door has ceased. Did she finally give up? No, she wouldn't give up. Does she plan to climb out the window and loop around? Well, we're on the second floor. That would be quite a feat. I should still have some time left.
何パターンかいろんな文章を送ってみて。それで効果が出ないようならこっちでタイマーを微調整する。
助かる。そっちの様子はミスター・ブラウンが乗り込んできてないか。
今下から怒鳴り声が聞こえてる。きっと橋田と真由里が必死でなだめてるはずだけど、いつまで持つか。あまり余裕はないと思って。
I put my phone into my pocket without hanging up. GGO1 rocks! I missed it. I want to read it! I changed the message and sent another D-mail. But still, nothing happens. I wanted to read that. Change now, your phone is cursed! Your phone is cursed. I make another one. Send. No good. Why? What am I doing wrong? I'd like to ask Moeka, but if I go back inside now, she'll probably just attack me. Just open the door. Excuse me, I have a couple questions for you, Moeka. So about your phone, dead. Which reminds me, she's been awfully quiet. What is she doing now? Maybe she really did go out the window. I look around. I don't see her anywhere. Think, why didn't the DML work? I wipe the sweat from my brow. My entire body is soaked. It must be the adrenaline. What if Moeka changed addresses when she got a new phone? I take out my phone.
聞こえるか。
まだ問題が。
2回送り直したが効果なしだ。
I frantically consider my options as I stare hard at Moeka's phone. The walkway is dim, but Moeka's gaudy purple phone shines in the faint light. Wait. I take another good look at the phone. There's something wrong here. What is it?
岡部？どうしたの？
Gaudy purple. Latest model. Removable LCD screen. Model number GG01. My eyes tell me there's nothing wrong. I saw this phone when Moeka sent her D-mail, and many times before, she was never without it. It's the same. Nothing has changed.
何も変わっていないだと。
何の話？
Why hasn't it changed? Why is it the same as before Moeka sent her D-mail? Moeka's D-mail said don't change models. She should have had a different phone when she sent it. But she didn't. It was the same phone I'm holding right now. There's only one explanation. She never changed models to begin with.
あの女、まさか。
She lied to me. Moeka's D-mail wasn't about her phone. That explains how it affected the IBM 5100. It also explains why my cancellation D-mails aren't working.
ふざけた真似を。
The door violently shakes behind my back. It's much stronger than before. She must be ramming something hard and heavy against the door. I quickly move away from the door. The door shakes again. I can see the frame starting to warp.
異常だろ。
Fucking crazy! I suppose I should be thankful she doesn't have a gun, but honestly, this is terrifying enough. It chills my blood to think of what her face must look like now. I've never been the target of such single-minded obsession before. But unfortunately, I can't run away. I need to face Moeka again and wring the information out of her. Both Ferris and Lukako remembered their D-mails. With prodding, Moeka will remember too. I need that information. Crap. I don't want to go in there. My teeth are chattering. This is pathetic. I thought I'd won when I snatched her phone, but now my advantage is gone.
岡部返事しろ。
クリスティーナ。
音すごいけど大丈夫なの？
どうやら萌香の送った D メールは機種変更に関することじゃなかったらしい。
どういうことよ？
おそらくあの女は送る直前で内容を差し替えたんだ。俺が何をやっても世界線が変わらないのはそのせいだ。
着信履歴はそこに残ってるかもしれない。
着信履歴？
Of course, even if it's not in her send history, it should still be in the arrival history. I glare at the purple phone in my hand. It's a good thing that Moeka didn't change phones. Now I know exactly where the D-mail went.
うっかりしていた。調べてみる。
For a second there, I thought it would be easy. I should have known better. Moeka is not a casual phone user. Her mailbox has literally hundreds of entries over the last week, almost all from FB. Some of my mails are sprinkled in. I don't have time to search through each of these mails, even just the subject lines. Not to mention the pounding on the door is freaking me out.
クリスティーナ、少し手こずりそうだ。もし俺が失敗したら、あとは頼む。
Spot of trouble.
バカも休み言いなさい。状況によっては逃げることも大事。
I hang up. The lady next door comes out again, alarmed by the escalating noise. She glares at me. When she sees the magnitude of the door's damage, the lady opens her eyes in shock and runs back inside. I'm not leaning against the door anymore. Moeka could just open it, but she hasn't realized that. She's so fixated on getting her phone back, she'd destroy her own door. In any case, I don't have time to check her mail history. I put the phones into my pockets and move to the side of the door. I carefully grip the doorknob and wait for the interval between bangs. Now, I yank the door open. Coffee table flies out and smashes into the walkway railing. Jesus Christ. Her screech raises hairs all over my body. She's standing in the entrance like a revenant at the gates of hell. I step back. My knees tremble, but then I remember what I'm here to do. I gather my resolve, enter the room, and close the door behind me. Or at least I try. The knob's bent and won't fully close. I give up on locking it. Moeka glares at me, shaking with fury. First, I have to restrain her again. This is a woman who would kill on command, who would break her own door down just to retrieve her phone. It's too dangerous to let her be. I'm stronger. I just need to get her on the ground. There's no time. It's now or never. Crushing my fear, I charge at Moeka with full speed. That's not quite what it said, but it's close enough. Our bodies collide. Moeka tries to twist away, but I grab her clothes and use my momentum to push her to the floor. The back of her head hits the floor. Her resistance weakens. She doesn't know how to break a fall. It's some secret agent. I quickly straddle her waist. Now she's mine. Don't take that out of context either, please. Don't do it. Moeka flails her arms and legs wildly. I should have known that she wouldn't give up. Her fist strikes my jaw. Fortunately, Moeka is weak. The blow does little damage. I still need to stop her from struggling. First, her hands. I start with her left. I grab her wrist and pin it to the floor. A fist flies towards my face. It pops against my left eye, blanking my vision for a second. She seems to stop struggling for a moment. Her hand claws weakly at the air, but it turns out that she was reaching for my hair. She grabs it hard. I feel several strands tear free of my scalp. I get a grip on Moeka's face and press her head against the floor. She tries to bite my fingers, so I pull my hand back. I grab the hand that's grabbing my hair and dig my nails into her wrist. But she still doesn't let go of my hair. All the while, her feet are pounding against my back. She's also trying to free her left hand. I can't take much more of this. I instinctively headbutt Moeka with all my strength. The sickening sound of bone against bone echoes inside my head. The impact makes me dizzy too, but I fight it. Moeka goes limp, an opening. Finally, I succeed at pinning down both her hands. Her glasses fell off at some point during the struggle. Her red, swollen eyes give her an even more demented look. There's an angry bump on her forehead where I headbutted her. She spits at me. The lukewarm saliva hits my face. Ugh. I want to wipe it off, but my hands are full. Moeka glares at me. There are tears in her eyes, perhaps from the pain. Moeka breaks eye contact when I mention it, and I get an achievement. She stares at my pocket. She must have caught a glimpse of purple. I smile scornfully.
お前を携帯へ逃がすつもりはない。そんな権利をお前には与えない。
返してよ。
力尽きて奪い返してみろ。
Moeka tries again to free her hands. I lean in harder to keep them pinned. My strength and position are superior, so Moeka accomplishes nothing. Next, she struggles to free her body. Same result. I clamp my thighs firmly around her hips and hold her down. Context. Just fucking She occasionally knees me in the back, but I can bear that pain. It's not enough to make me forfeit this position.
このまま何時間でも付き合ってやる。どっちが先に体力が尽きると思う？
Moeka, without a doubt. I don't do sports or anything, so I'm not that strong. But I'm on top. I don't need to expend much energy to keep her pinned. No. She can scream and spit as all she likes. Nothing will make me give up this position.
お前が携帯依存だろうが FB から見捨てられようが知ったことじゃない。
Moeka shakes her head violently. She's just wasting her energy. I maintain position and stare down at Moeka.
この世界線ではお前が直接手をかけるわけじゃないし、これまでお前がマユリに対してやったことはすでになかったことになっている。だがそんなの俺からしてみれば知ったことじゃないんだ。なかったことを俺は全部覚えている。だからお前への憎しみは消えてないんだ。お前がマユリを殺した事実は俺の中に刻まれてるんだよ。今日はお前を逃がさないからな。きっちり向き合ってやる。
Until now, I've always run away from facing Moeka. I can't do that on this world line. I have to know what her D-mail said.
腹を割って話そうじゃないか。
Moeka is still struggling.
お前の目玉をくり抜いて踏み潰してやりたい。
I believe her. That's, I mean, yeah.
携帯などなくてもちゃんと話せるではないか。え？
誰クズがお前の写真をズタズタになるまで包丁で切り刻んでやる。
切り刻むのはマッドサイエンティストのお箱だ。
死ね死んでよ。犯される。助けて。
This woman's out of control. Does she want another headbutt that badly? Knock sounds from the door. Moeka and I both look at the door in surprise.
ねえ、隣の西田だけど大丈夫？
Well, shit.
警察呼んだ方がいいかしら？必要ないならせめてもっと静かにしてくんない？このアパート声が響くのよ。
Damn, I didn't think about that. Can't have her calling the police. Moeka suddenly screams. God damn it! You bitch! Kono bitch! Sorry. What now? I need to silence Moeka somehow. I can't use either hand. There's only one way. I suddenly press my lips against Moeka's. My loveless kiss shuts her up quite effectively. I lock eyes with her as well, trading glares in silence.
まったく最近の若い子は
Worst neighbor ever. Hooray, but also fucking worst, literal worst neighbor ever. I finally hear the neighbor's footsteps recede. What a relief. Oh, that sound is upsetting. I feel a sharp pain on my lip. I instinctively jerk away. Blood drips from my mouth and lands on Moeka's neck. She bit me. I feel around my lip with the tip of my tongue. The taste of blood spreads out from the laceration. Moeka breathes wildly as she glares at me with tearful eyes.
初々しい女ぶっているんじゃない。俺より
Don't make it weird,
年上のくせ
Okabe.
に
I got this is where I draw the line. This is where I draw the line. I'm like, hey now. Like, I know you're pinning her down, headbutted her, you know, all that shit. This is a little much, don't you think, Okabe? That's a little much. What are my morals? What the fuck? She grimaces and looks away. Her pink lips glisten with saliva. I might find the slight alluring if the situation were different, if I didn't despise her with every fiber of my fucking being. Moeka turns her face away and looks up, through the open curtains, at the bright full moon outside the window. How much time has passed? It feels like it's already been dozens of hours. But it's still night outside, so it probably hasn't been more than 1 or 2. Moeka hasn't said a word since I kissed her. She hasn't tried to escape either. Her expression is blank. She's just staring off to the side. What is she looking at? I follow her gaze, but the only thing there is a half-empty bottle of water. Has she given up? Either way, I can't let my guard down. Maybe it's the stress, but it feels like my body is going numb. Why did we zoom in exactly? What? Can we not? I have been drenched in sweat for a while now. This room has no air conditioning whatsoever. The heat is starting to get to me. I thought I had an overwhelming advantage in this position, but it's harder to maintain than I expected. Not only do I have to keep Moeka pinned, I also have to keep a close eye on her so she doesn't try anything. All Moeka has to do is lie there. She can rest and try again whenever she's ready. Will this last all night? At this rate, my strength might give out first. Fear mounts. If she escapes, she's going to try and kill me. She must have her gun somewhere, I'm sure. I consider calling Kurisu for help, but I can't use either hand, and I don't even know what time it is. Damn, it's almost like I'm the one trapped. No, stay positive. You can do this. Moeka's dependent on her phone. That's her weak point. If I keep her separated from her phone, then sooner or later, her will to resist should collapse. It's a matter of whose strength will fail first.
Okabe-kun.
Suddenly, Moeka calls my name.
どうしたら返してくれる
Now she's trying to ask nicely. Does this mean she's given up? This is what I was waiting for. Now I move in for the kill.
お前は D メールを送ったことを覚えているか
D 何
D メール過去へ送ることのできるメールお前はそれを送ったお前自身の携帯へな機種変更に関する内容だと思っていたがそれは嘘だったお前は俺たちの目をごまかしてこっそりメールの内容を入れ替えたんだ
Her typing speed is lightning fast. It would have been easy for her to type a mere 36 characters while Daru and I were preoccupied with the phone wave, name subject change.
その結果世界線が変わったお前は覚えていないか
Normally, once the past changes, everything until that point is undone. But it should be possible to make Moeka remember, just as Ferris and Lukako did.
知らない
知らないんじゃない思い出していないだけなんだ思い出せお前は思い出さなければならない
Or else what, I don't know. This is just a tactic to put pressure on Moeka. I have another plan to make her remember. Moeka turns away again and bites her lip. Tears start falling from her eyes. I watch, never once taking my eyes off her. I didn't notice before now, but her shirt must have become undone during the struggle. I can see the alluring curves of her collarbone, the skin of her large, pale breasts, and a hint of sexy underwear. Jesus Christ, Nogame, focus! Her breasts heave with each painful breath. The base of her neck is stained with the blood from my lip. It's dry, like a scab. Normally, Moeka could be mistaken for an elegant, beautiful woman. But now she has large shadows under her eyes. Her skin is rough, her face is pale. She looks more intoxicated than intoxicating. Her entire body reeks of death. She's clearly insane. This is the real Moeka. I wish I'd realized sooner.
本当に知らないの思い出せるならそうするけどわからないわ一体何のことなのか
Moeka's gaze shifts constantly, from me to the ceiling and then to the window. But her slow murmuring is evidence that she's almost beat. Just a little more and her resistance will end.
だったら質問を変える2週間ほど前お前は奇妙なメールを受け取ったはずだ差出人はお前自身の携帯しかもそのメールは数日後の未来から送信されていた
Moeka's eyes opened wide. Gotcha.
覚えがあるな。それがお前が送った D メールだ。内容を教えろ。
教えたら
携帯は返す。
クソ。
She suddenly curses at me.
内容は言えない。
なぜだ。
ラウンダーに関係する。
Her mission? I recall what Moeka told me on a previous world line. The Rounder's mission is to find and acquire IBN 5100s. In that case...
IBN 5100。
She fell into my trap. Her reflexive response was all I needed to see.
それに関することだな。
どこまで知っている？メールの内容。
質問をするのは俺だけだ。いいから答えろ。
言えない。FB を裏切ることに。
携帯よりも FB を選ぶのか。大した忠誠心だな。
But Mayuri's fate hangs in the balance. I can't give up. Moeka still hasn't calmed down. She's been opening and closing her hands for a while now. She's not trying to escape my restraint, she's just twisting her body. Licking her lips, shaking her head, trying to brush the hair off her face. It's like she's suffering from withdrawal without her phone. Soon, she won't have the mental fortitude to resist. If she won't talk now, then I'll just wait until she will.
携帯がないとそんなに苦痛か。なぜそこまで依存する？
会話まともにできなくて。
今はしているではないか。
And when she attacked the lab, she was leading a squad of hardened killers. But Moeka shakes her head violently.
寝るまでできなくなったら、私は世界から断絶してしまう。
世界だと？孤独な女を気取っているつもりか。お前が恐れているのはラウンダーから見捨てられることだろう。
違う。ラウンダーじゃなくて FB から見捨てられること。
That's the same thing, isn't it?
だったら世界などと言うな。何の罪もない女の子を容赦なく殺した分際でマユリを世界から断絶させた分際で。
殺してない。
そう、この世界線ではな。だが別の世界線においてはお前はラウンダーとして俺たちのタイムマシンを奪おうとした。その時に殺したマユリを。
In the world line where I interrogated Moeka, she told me that Mayuri was expendable. It didn't matter to CERN whether she lived or died.
FB の指示なら殺したと思う。絶対に。
FB とは何者だ？一体どこにいる？
I asked her the same question back then, but another rounder appeared before she could answer. Something tells me she won't have backup this time. Moeka's position in the rounders has changed.
言えない。
ならばいいことを教えてやる。いいか。お前は今俺に捕まっている状況だが、助けを期待しているのなら無駄だ。どうせ誰も助けに来ない。お前は絶望に打ちひしがれたまま4日後に自殺する。
Moeka seems startled by this. I go in for the kill.
俺は5日後から来た。セルンが欲しがるタイムマシンを使ってな。だから知っている。お前は この部屋で一人孤独に自分を殺すんだ。お前の大好きな FB はお前を助けない。ラウンダーもセルンも300人委員会もだ。どれだけメールしても上司からの連絡はないんだろう。それはなぜだ。もう見捨てられているんだよ。
So, but I picked the worst times. I really thought I was safe. Moika's face contorts in despair. Once again, tears fall from her eyes. Gross. Sorry. Guilt squeezes my heart. Why? Fuck this bitch! I know that I'm causing this woman pain. Inside of me, a voice whispers that it's nothing compared to what she did to Mayuri, that I have no reason to show mercy to a murderer. But at the same time, my conscience screams that it's wrong to hurt someone, no matter who they are or what they've done. Insane mad scientist, my ass. I'm afraid to hurt my mortal enemy. I'm nothing but a hypocrite. I mean, like, I might agree if it were just for the sake of hurting her, like, but no, I think we're good. We're on it. Like, there's purpose to this shit. Most of this shit.
FB をかばう必要はない。だから全て話せ。
Every time I think conversation is about to happen. I ignore the ache in my heart and push harder. But Moika shakes her head violently.
FB は裏切らない。私を見捨てない。
だったらなぜお前は4日後に自殺すると思う。
お前が私を殺すのよ。自殺に見せかけて。
That doesn't make any sense.
俺はそんなヘマはしない。俺ならお前を殺した後でタイムリープする。お前の死はなかったことにできる。
私は
FB から返事が来ないと言ってこの部屋で死んだような顔をしていたのはどこのドイツだ。もう何日来ていない。 FB からの連絡は普段はどのくらいの頻度で来ていていつから来なくなった。
I keep the questions coming. And I need to pile on the pressure.
普段毎日連絡を。でももう10日近く。
10日も連絡が来ていない。そうだな。
Moika looks up to me with pleading eyes.
私裏切れないよ。
お前は裏切られたんだよ。
FB を信じてる。
お前は切り捨てられた。利用されるだけされてな。もう用済みということだ。
FB はそんな人じゃ。
だったらどんな人なんだ。
お母さんみたいに私に優しくて、私はやっと心地いい居場所を。
Like a mother? FB is a woman? I expected an evil-looking old man like you see in the movies, but I guess I was wrong.
悩みを相談したり、いつも すぐに返事くれた。友達みたいで。でも包み込む優しさがあって。
あったことは
Moeka shakes her head weakly.
あったことがない。お母さんみたいで友達みたいでお前にとって心地いい居場所だったのに。
Damn, if they had met, then I could have gotten Moeka to lead me to her.
ラウンダーは互いの正体隠すのがルールで。
連絡は取り合っていたのに一度も会ったことはない。確かに会うのはルール違反かもな。だがお前は FB が好きで会ってみたかった。違うか。
違うよ。会ったら幻滅される。だから会いたいなんて思わない。
会いたいと言われたことは
一度もないし言ったこともない。
その様子だと電話もしたことがないな。
Moeka turns away, then she nods faintly.
避けられているとは思わなかったのか。そこまで親身になってくれた優しい女上司がお前に会おうとしない理由は本当にルールだけか。そしてなぜ連絡をよこさない理由を考えてみろ。振り込め詐欺と同じだ。お前は騙されていたんだ。
FB を悪く言わないで。そんな人じゃない。
連絡が途絶える前、最後のメールはどんな内容だった？
IBN5100 を指定場所に置いておけって。
ABN 5100? Moeka, you fool, you let your tongue slip. You fool! 2 weeks ago, FB told her to leave the IBN 5100 at a drop point. That means she already had it in her possession at the time. I recall how Moeka kept bombarding me with questions about the IBN 5100. I might have let it slip that I found the computer at Yanabayashi Shrine. After that, she sent me her D-mail. The world line changed. The lock was broken on the shrine's storehouse door. The IBN 5100 was gone. These facts point to one conclusion. She sent herself the location of the IBN 5100. Now that I know, it seems so obvious. If only I hadn't trusted Moeka. If only I had seen through her lies. But no, I played right into her hands. I was the tool's tool. I almost burst into self-deriding laughter. But I desperately hold it back and keep a straight face.
その場所はどこだ？
コインロッカー、大ビル前の。
The coin locker in front of Daibiru. Wait, isn't that where Lukako hid the IBN 5100 on the previous world line? Is this another effect of convergence? Can I retrieve the IBN 5100 if I go there now? No, I can't expect it to still be there. Remember what happened with Lukako. The invisible force of convergence is keeping the IBN 5100 away from me. If I want to get it back, I need to cancel Moeka's D-mail. I know the message. I've already reached my goal. Moeka starts crying softly. I sigh deeply and lift myself off Moeka's body. Then I lean back against the wall and start stretching my aching limbs. I take Moeka's phone out of my pocket.
携帯を使わせてもらうぞ。
Moeka slowly gets up. She wipes her tears and fixes her hair and clothes. Her wavy hair obscures her face from this angle, so I can't make out her expression. She doesn't react to what I said. Even though I'm no longer restraining her, she doesn't try to attack me and take back her phone. I open Moeka's mailbox and search for the D-mail. It takes about 3 minutes, but I finally find it. 3 mails from Moeka's own phone, each 12 characters long, sent on August 4th and received on July 31st. Retro PCs at Yanabayashi Shrine. Just as I suspected, Moeka changed her D-mail in the few seconds I had my back turned. All I need to do now is send the cancellation mail.
岡部、
今ラボにいるか？
心配させんな、バカ。
心配してくれていたのか？
どう見ても死亡フラグ立ってたから、無事なのが驚きよ。
今どこにいる？
ちゃんとラボで待機中。
もう一度 D メールを送る。準備を頼む。
タイマー設定は
31日の11時頃に着くように設定を。
31日の11時ということは。
While Kurisu calculates the hours, I type the mail. Do not go, not at shrine, it's a trap. It says, do not go, not at shrine, it's a trap. I just said that, thank you. I address the mail to the phone wave, named subject to change.
準備 OK。
よし、起動してくれ。
起動した。
I got a message from the future from Admiral Akbar. Dumb. Might be the dumbest thing I've ever said. I press the send button. Mail starts sending. Reading Steiner should activate, this time for sure. I brace myself for the incoming vertigo.
ダメだ。なぜ変わらない？
また間違い？
いや、そんなはずはない。萌香の D メールの内容も確認済みだ。それを否定するメールを送った。
Why isn't it working? What the hell's wrong this time?
最初の D メールの内容は
柳林神社に IBN5100 があると知らせるものだ。今のメールでそれは罠だと否定したんだが、もう一度別の文面で再送を。
待った。 D メールの面倒な部分についてはロト6の実験で検証済みでしょ。
The Lotto 6 experiment. I set myself the winning numbers, but the past me didn't buy the ticket. Instead, he gave the winning numbers to Lukako.
D メールを読んだ人間がその通りに行動するかどうかは個人の資質に影響される。桐生って人は神社に IBN5100 があると知らされた。直後にそれを否定するメールが来ても構わず神社へ行ったという推測が導ける。
否定するメールを信じなかったか、あるいはクソ真面目に否定されても念のために調べてみたかということか。
I glance at Moeka. She's still hanging her head, but her tears have run dry. I wonder if she's listening.
厄介ね。神社に調べに行くことにリスクが発生すると伝えても聞いてくれなかったっていうことだから。
より強制力の強い文面にするしかない。神社に行くのを禁止させるぐらいの。
どうやって？
That's the problem. Is it possible to persuade her with just 36 bytes of text? Or should we consider other possibilities?
例えば7月30日のお礼と D メールを送り、先に IBN5100 を回収させるという方法は？
その日のあんたは IBN5100 に興味があったのか？
When did I start caring about the IBN 5100? I can't remember. Fine, that's out. So how do I convince Moeka to listen? At that moment, an electric shock runs through my brain. 2 initials.
FB だ。
え？何？
萌香の上司、依存の対象。 FB からのメールなら無条件で信じるはず。
その FB とかいう人の携帯持ってるの？
いいや、会ったことさえない。どこにいるかもわからない。
話にならない。
少し時間をくれ。
また待たせるのか？まあ、私はずっとラボに泊まり込んでるからいいけど、あんまり無茶しないでね。
So even after prying answers out of Moeka, there's still more work to be done. Fate really seems to love getting in my way. Alright, to break out of this world line, I need FB's identity and location. I call Moeka's name. When she finally looks up, I drop her phone into her lap. She accepts it with a confused expression.
FB を探すことになった。
Moeka grips her phone, but she doesn't look at the screen. I sigh deeply. I need to get as much information on FB out of her as I can.
お前はどういう経緯でラウンダーに？
Honestly, I couldn't care less. I hate having to stand here and talk with a woman who killed Mayuri. Hugging her phone to her chest, Moeka retrieves her glasses and puts them back on.
4年前死のうとしてた。
Her voice is a barely audible whisper. For a moment, I'm surprised she's not talking by mail.
何の希望も持てなくて、何もかもが嫌になって。
原因は？
特にこれっていうのは。
Her expression is blank, lifeless, like always. But behind her glasses, her eyes are red from crying. They are the only traces of emotion on her doll-like face.
でも小さなことがたくさん積み重なって、もともとこんな性格だし。
家族は？
Moeka shakes her head a little. She has none, I guess. I don't bother asking whether she ever had parents. It doesn't really matter. Also, that's a really... What? Like... I guess you don't necessarily know them, but...
自分の部屋で
Literally everyone has... That's how... What?
大量に飲んで。でも死ぬのを失敗して、そこにメールが「ラウンダー募集」って個人宛てじゃなくて一斉送信の。
Isn't that spam? Do the rounders really recruit like that?
私はどうでもよくなってた。だから気づいたら返信してた。そしたら連絡が来たの。 FB から。それからずっと FB の指示に従ってた。
ずっとこの秋葉に？
Moeka shakes her head.
3ヶ月前まで名古屋、その前は横浜、その前は。
Rounder's chief duty is to acquire IBM 5100s. I guess they had her traveling all over Japan, digging up info on retro PCs.
これまでに IBN5100 をいくつ見つけた？
一台も。
No results? It looks like CERN is spending a lot of effort for not much return. I sigh deeply once again.
お前はこの後どうするつもりだ？ただ絶望に打ちひしがれて予定通り自殺するか？抗おうとは思わないのか？
抗う？
Even as I ask the question, I know that for her, rebellion is impossible. This world line has already approved her death. She's in the same situation as Mayuri. No matter what she does, she will die. I know that, and yet I ask the question.
FB はお前を利用し 見捨てた。それを認めろ。その上で FB に対してどうしたいと考えているんだ。
Moeka looks down.
利用されていたとしても、私の居場所そこしかなかったから、初めてだった。生きてきた中で自分が必要とされたこと、 FB が居場所を与えてくれたの。私にその居場所を守るためなら、生きがいを与えてくれた FB を守るためなら何だってする。
Yeah, I know, that's the problem. Fucking. Yeah, we got that at this point. Even kill a cherub like Mayuri.
お前は
Bitch.
救いようのないバカだ。
I'm not a fan of Moeka, in case that isn't obvious. I'm not exactly a Moeka fan. I stand up.
だったら依存したまま死んでいけ。お前の死は確定している。だが俺は世界の思い通りになっていいとは思わない。だから徹底的に抗う。
No matter what, I will save Mayuri. Just a little bit more. I can't give up now. Hell yeah! It's midnight, and Akiba is practically empty. The silence is eerie. There's no sign of anyone near the coin locker. Considering the IBN 5100's size, it couldn't fit in the regular-sized lockers. She must have put it in one of the 3 large lockers on the right.
使用中。
The bottom locker is still in use. Is the IBN 5100 inside? My heart starts pounding in my chest. I feel my face grow hot with excitement. We've been apart for far too long, my partner, but now only a thin locker door separates us. Is this what love feels like? Oh my god, okay, please.
自重しよう。
I force myself to consider the situation calmly. Is the IBN 5100 really inside? I want to check right this instant. I can't believe I forgot to ask Moeka which coin locker she used. Should I get a crowbar or something and try and pry the locker open? If the IBN 5100 really is inside, and I steal it, what will happen to the world line? I have yet to cancel all the D-mails, which I thought was the only way to restore the original world line. And now the IBN 5100's so close, why can't I just reach out and take it? I know how to cancel Moeka's D-mail, so I can always do that if this plan doesn't work. Let's try it, just to make sure. First, I make a quick visit to the lab. Ignoring the complaints of the lab mems who stayed awake in the lab all night, I retrieve a makeshift crowbar from the development room. Then I return to the lockers and thrust the pointed tip of the crowbar into the crack of the door. God damn it. Just as I begin to pry, a shrill siren shatters the night. Hey Shadow Anime, how's it going? How you doing? I look up to see the red lights of a patrol car coming this way. Their timing couldn't be worse. The police release me after about 30 minutes of scolding. I return to the coin locker and try to pry it open again. Immediately, another patrol car appears. This time, they take me to the police station. I'm stuck in an interrogation room all night, getting preached to by policemen. I conclude that this is another effect of attractor field convergence. No matter what I do, I cannot obtain an IBN 5100 on this world line. That is what fate has decreed. I get the police to call my father, and they finally release me. They didn't go so far as to arrest me, but the policemen, as well as my father, scold me harshly. Man, I want to give me that scene. Let me see Papa Okabe. I act apologetic, but in actuality, their words fall on deaf ears. After my father goes home, I head straight to Moika's apartment. I tried calling her. I took the opportunity to memorize her phone number yesterday, but she wouldn't pick up at all. Before I get there, I send a mail to Daru asking him to check if the coin locker is still occupied. The door to Moika's apartment is unlocked. I find Moika hugging her knees in the corner, just like she was when I first found her.
IBN5100 を入れたのは右下のコインロッカーで合っているか？
なぜ
IBN5100 が入る大きさのロッカーはあそこには3つしかなかった。そのうち一番下のみが使用中。
Daru, found it. Checked. The big locker on the lower right is in use. What's this about anyway? Don't make me your errand boy so early in the morning, fool! Ah! I love this particular fucking little face. Ah! Okay.
もしお前が一番下に入れたというなら FB はまだ IBN5100 を回収していないことになる。この意味がわかるか？
Moika frowns.
あそこに貼っていれば FB が回収しに来た時に会えるということだ。その発想はなかったか？ラウンダーのくせに冷静さが欠けているぞ、お前。俺は張り込んでみようと思う。お前は？
会ってどうするの？
FB に携帯を借りる。
That's the best way to prevent Moika from going to the Yanabayashi Shrine.
会えない。会う勇気ない。幻滅される。
お前はとっくに幻滅されているか？最初から期待すらされていなかった。
Moika's face contorts again. I'm being blunt, not only because Moika is Mayuri's murderer, but also because Moika's weakness is starting to get on my nerves. Just like Daru's mail said, the locker is still occupied when I get there. I look around to make sure there are no patrol cars. No crowbars this time. I don't feel like getting arrested. I head across the street to Daibiru, hide behind one of its humongous pillars, and begin the stakeout. My legs are getting tired. I was going to borrow Mayuri's portable game console, but I decided I didn't need the distraction. Still, it's pretty tough to keep standing like this. I also need to stay inconspicuous. Someone might notice if they see me standing in the same place for hours. I wouldn't want a security guard to give me trouble. I mean, I guess there's not much to worry about that. There's not much to worry about... What? I've already been here for 7 hours with that incident. My legs are numb, so I squat and lean against the pillar. So hungry. I'd love to go get some food, but I can't take my eyes off the locker. Just then, somebody taps me on the shoulder. FB? I try to leap to my feet, but my legs get tangled and I fall over. Hilarious. Moika is standing there, looking down at me with those glassy eyes.
お前、なんでここに？
私も張り込みを。ダメかな？
なぜ心変わりした？
I stand up and dust off my clothes.
お前は FB とのメールだけの関係に居心地の良さを感じていた。その適度な距離感に依存していたはず。なのになぜ今さら一歩を踏み出そうと思った？
このままじゃ。
Moika puts her head on her knees. She looks ready to cry. I've seen that expression once before in her moonlit apartment.
FB からの連絡がなくなったら、私、世界とのつながりが。
断絶されるか。
Moeka nods faintly.
孤独に耐えられないくらい弱いのに FB の命令さえあれば容赦なく人も殺せるとはな。典型的な狂信者だよお前は。
And her cult leader, FB, abused her weakness before throwing her out like old clothes. It pisses me off. FB's cruelty, Moeka's weakness. I can't decide which I hate more. Then, Moeka nervously brings out a convenience store bag.
なんだこれは。
Instead of answering, Moeka looks away. I look inside.
おお、パックの牛乳とアンパン。
Treats! Alright, Moeka, you know what? I changed my mind. You're alright. I'm kidding. Exactly what you need on a stakeout. There's enough for two.
もしかして差し入れか。
Moeka nods.
よし、許可する。お前も張り込みを手伝え。
Now we can take turns watching, and we'll look less suspicious to passersby. The night draws on, and still no sign of FB. We nap in 1-hour shifts, but it doesn't help the exhaustion. On top of that, I don't have anyone to talk to. Moeka can't keep a conversation going, so there's nothing I can do to stave off boredom. I went back to the lab to shower just before dawn, but Kurisu, who was working on an all-nighter on the time leap machine, just glared at me. The wait finally ends just after 1 p.m. on the 13th. Someone comes to open the lower right locker. We watch from behind the pillar. It's a nondescript middle-aged man. He's dressed in a new suit, but it hangs rather poorly on him, as if he's not used to wearing it.
あいつが FB か。
Moeka shakes her head firmly.
FB は女性よ。
となると雇われて回収しに来た人間かもしれない。
Or it could be someone from the locker company here to clear it out after weeks overdue. That would make us all idiots, Moeka, FB, and me. The man has the key to the locker. He pays the late fee with 100 yen coins, then removes the cardboard box with the IBN 5100 inside. The man thought ahead and brought a pushcart. He puts the IBN 5100 onto the pushcart with a bit of effort and begins walking away.
おうぞ。
The man heads straight for Akihabara Station. Also, this fucking... Strangely enough, he walks up to an overweight man standing in front of the ticket machine. The overweight man is wearing a t-shirt and has all the signs of an otaku. He doesn't seem to have anything in common with the first guy, who looks like an average salaryman. They transfer the IBN 5100 into the overweight man's suitcase. After they exchange a few words, the overweight man enters the station alone. Then the guy in the suit leaves.
妙だな。
What was the purpose of the transfer? Is the overweight man FB, or is he just another link in some kind of chain? At any rate, if we keep following the IBN 5100, we should reach FB eventually. We enter the station. The overweight man boards the Yamanote line. We board on the next car and keep watch through the connecting door. Man, I'm running out of reading juice. I'm running out. It's running on empty. It's a weekday afternoon, so there aren't many passengers. 30 minutes later, we arrive at Shinjuku Station. Here, the train sees a sharp increase in passenger traffic. Also, I just noticed the fucking Garo Froggy poster over here. That's fucking me up a little bit. Oh my god! There's a fucking Chaos Head no advertisement on the train! Oh my god, that's so funny! Dude! Oh man, I was like, oh, look at this really, like... Look at this reference to Chaos Head. No, meanwhile, the fucking... His It's literally a fucking Chaos Head Noah banner back here. Banner! It's literally on the fuck. Oh my god, that's so funny. Dude, I'm dead now. Also, there's a bunch of Garo Froggies up here. Man, they're everywhere. Also, is that... Man, it is really tiny, but I'm pretty sure this right here is Steins Gate. I believe this is art from the game that it is in. I'm almost certain that right there is Kurisu. That looks like Mayuri. Like I'm gonna have to analyze later. I'm gonna zoom in and analyze every pixel. This right here though, funny as shit. Oh my god, that's great. Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna continue. I don't know what this is. I feel like clearly this is also some kind of reference, but like I don't know. I don't recognize it. All right. Anyways, here the train sees a sharp increase in passenger traffic. Moeka pulls on my sleeve. The overweight man has slipped into the stream of the departing passengers. He's about to exit onto the platform. We follow him, but due to our slow reaction, we have to push our way through the boarding passengers. The train doors close and it slowly departs. The man starts walking towards the exit. Shinjuku's crowded, so we have to follow close behind or we'll lose him. But then I stop in my tracks. The man is empty-handed. His suitcase is missing. What? For a second, I thought we'd followed the wrong man, but no, it's definitely him. We watched him the whole time he was on the train. There was no doubt he had the suitcase when the train arrived in Shinjuku. Could he have passed it to someone else in this crowd? They know how to lose a tail. Fortunately, this tale has the power of time travel. I return to the lab and leap an hour back. I find myself inside the train. I know it's bad manners to use my phone on the train, but this is an emergency. According to the train's display, we're about to leave Otsuka for Ikebukuro, 3 stops to Shinjuku. Moeka is next to me, acting inconspicuous. I peek at the overweight man in the next car.
新宿駅で仕掛けてくるぞ。あの男、降りたと見せかけて荷物を別の人間に受け渡す。さっきはまんまと引っかかった。
さっき
Doesn't look like Moek has caught on yet.
俺は1時間後からタイムリープしてきたんだ。
タイムリープ
Moeka's eyes widen. The train arrives at Shinjuku on schedule. Just to make sure, I'll have Moeka follow the man when he gets off. Before the doors open, I stealthily move to his car. He still has the suitcase with the IBN 5100.
新宿
See, now I'm looking at all these fucking posters. I don't know what this is. I'm sure this is probably a reference to something too. It's too tiny. I can't see it. The doors open and passengers spew out. The overweight man leaves too, just like last time. However,
やはり
he leaves the suitcase on the train. Now, passengers from Shinjuku board. Someone walks up to the abandoned suitcase. It's a woman in her 30s pushing a baby stroller. There's no baby. The woman casually loads the suitcase into her stroller and sits down. This is fucking creepy shit. After witnessing that scene, I return to the neighboring car. I need to be careful. These guys are serious about avoiding pursuit. train starts moving. I contact Moeka so we can regroup later. After that incident, the package swaps couriers like a hot potato, snaking around the tracks that run through Tokyo like a web. Whenever they give me the slip, I time leap and resume the chase. Finally, the courier and package get aboard the Hibiya line and return to Akihabara Station, where it all began. I recognize the last courier. He's one of the men who raided the lab with Moeka. Dark skin, crew cut, the one who hit me with his gun. The man easily carries the 25-kilo package out of the station. We follow. A car honks its horn. Moeka and I immediately hide. Peering out from cover, I see a white flatbed parked in front of the station. A muscular man hops out from the driver's seat.
Huh?
I know that face. No, it can't be. I desperately try to organize my thoughts. That's Tenoji Yugo, owner of the Braun Tube Workshop. Mr. Braun. Why? Why is he here? Does this mean he's connected to FB? To the Rounders? Was the Braun Tube Workshop just a front for CERN? Is that how he could afford to keep it open? What's going on here? His shop is right below the lab. If he's working for the enemy, then... I shiver at the thought. Stop. Let's not rush to conclusions. He might just be another courier. We watch from a distance. Tenoji takes the suitcase from the crew cut man and loads it to the back seat of his car. Then he gets into the car alone and takes off towards Showadori. I stare after it in disbelief. I time leap several hours to before the first man arrived at the coin locker. And I explain the situation to Moeka. My plan is to get ahead of the package. After killing some time at Starbucks, we rent a car. Starbucks. I don't have a license, so Moeka's driving. We go to the street in front of the roundabout, facing Showadori, and park near Yodobashi Camera. Now we wait.
緊張しているのか。肩に力が入りすぎているぞ。運転歴はどれぐらいだ？
ペーパー。
ペーパーって、ペーパードライバーということか。勘弁してくれ。事故るなよ。
I was surprised Moeka had a license in the first place. Apparently FB told her it would come in handy for her rounder work. I have Moeka wait in the car while I keep a lookout on the roundabout. The white station wagon's already stopped there. From this distance, I can clearly see Tenoji in the driver's seat. Nobody else is riding. The crew cut guy should arrive just after 5 p.m. As expected, the crew cut man arrives right on time, effortlessly dragging the suitcase behind him. It feels weird seeing the exact same scene from a different angle. I hurry back to the car, where Moeka's waiting.
来るぞ。
The station wagon rolls past us. It takes a left turn at the Showadori intersection towards Okachimachi. Moeka smoothly sets the car in motion. Finally, we arrive at Tenoji's house in Okachimachi. This is the house where Suzuha lived. Her rusty old mountain bike is still sitting out front. Tenoji brings the IBN 5100 inside. We stop a little farther down the road and keep watch.
どういうこと？ FB はどこ？
あの家に運び込んだことが何を意味するかだ。一時的な保管場所ということなのか、それとも。
Is he FB? Does he know FB? Moeka insists that FB is a woman. So maybe it's Tenoji's wife, whom I've never met. I have Moeka show me one of FB's mails. M4, it's true you're not very good with people, but I think that's just part of what makes you unique and special. Besides... Whoops. Oh, here we go. Besides, you have no trouble talking to me, do you? Honestly, M4, there's nobody else who works as hard as you do. I'm very thankful for that. I'm glad you joined the Rounders. Even if nobody else values you, I'll always look out for you. Feel free to email you whenever you like. Oh yes, since you're finally in Nagoya, you should try some of the local delicacies. It's not good for your health to keep eating convenience store food. Or do you not like miso, M4? In any case, a girl your age needs to eat better. I recommend the firm miso stew. Oh my god, I thought that was the end of it. Your next mission is to go to Akihabara in Tokyo, so find an apartment by next week. I deposited a special bonus in your account, so feel free to use it. Talk to you soon. Your mother, FB. Golly gosh, I wonder why she considers FB a mother. Your mother. That's some manipulative bullshit. Alright. She's kept a lot of mails archived, just like this one.
M4 というのが私のコードネーム。それも FB がつけてくれた。
Moika's a mailing machine. She sent FB nearly 10 mails a day, but FB replied to every single one. You'd have to be a saint to reply to all those emails. No wonder Moika was so dependent on FB.
今度はここで張り込みだな。
I have Daru set up a wireless infrared camera on the telephone pole down the street. We park a couple blocks away and watch the video feed. The next day, Tennoji goes to work on his moped like usual. He returns after sunset. There's no sign of his daughter, Nai, or his wife. Something finally happens early Sunday morning. Just before 3 a.m., 6 people show up at Tennoji's house.
あれは
It's dark, but I recognize them. They're the rounders who raided the lab with Moika. Moika doesn't show a trace. That's not the word. That's not the word that was on screen. I don't know where I got that word. That word just popped into my head. It's weird. Crazy. I can read words on the screen. Moika doesn't show much of a reaction. That's what it says. I thought she knew them. I ask, but she says she's never met them before. And it looks like this world line's Moika has been cut off completely. Were they done with her once she found them in IBN 5100? Tennoji comes outside and loads the IBN 5100 onto the station wagon. Then the 6 men get in and drive away. Tennoji sees them off, then goes back inside his house.
今度はどこへ
I'm interested in Tennoji's story, but the IBN 5100 will lead us to FB. We decide to follow the station wagon. The pursuit ends at Narita International Airport. The 6 men, IBN 5100 in tow, board a plane headed for France. France, CERN's home country. What does this mean?
天王寺の妻が FB の可能性がある。
Since there's been no sign of FB this far, she must be an extremely cautious individual, but the evidence suggests only one possibility. On Worldline Alpha 1, Moika's men attacked the night the time leap machine was completed. Their timing was perfect. It makes sense if you assume that Tennoji is closely linked to FB. He was right downstairs the whole time we were discussing our plans. FB knew exactly what we were up to. We were dancing to her tune all along. When we get back to Akiba, Moika and I start walking toward Tennoji's house. But on the way, I get an angry call from Kurisu demanding an update, so I decide to take care of that first. Mail. 1 second, Kurisu. I saw Orion last night. It was really pretty. I hope you were looking up at the same time, because then it would be like we were close by, even if we were really far away. Stars are really romantic if you think like that, aren't they? Yeah. Yeah. Ah! No! Stop again! I saw it too. First night in a while I've had time to look up at the stars. But I don't think it was Orion. That's a winter constellation. My earring! Kurisu sighs when she sees me.
あんたね、少しは連絡したらどうなの？
ずっと立て込んでいたのだ。
立て込んでたね。
Kurisu glances at Moeka.
もしかして心配していたのか？
私じゃないわよ。私は別にあんたがどこで何をしてようが知ったことじゃないけど、ただまゆりはすごく心配してた。見てて痛々しいぐらいにね。
Oh, you're lying, but oh.
せめてあの子にだけは連絡してあげなさいよ。
Let me call her! Oh, I'm fucking up the key. I'm pressing too many buttons. Let me call Mayuri! Okay, fine. Well, let me die! Now that she mentions it, it feels like I haven't talked to Mayuri in forever.
すべてはマユリを救うため。敵の正体がもうすぐ分かりそうなんだよ。
I would call her if the game would let me. But alas.
敵って
Kurisu glances at Moeka again. Moeka is completely expressionless. She's lightly kicking the dirt in boredom. She hasn't used her phone once since we began the search for FB. I like how... This is like actually kind of clever, and I'm about to ruin it. I'm about to ruin the illusion, but it's clever. This is definitely the fucking sprite of her holding her phone like this, but they have it just slightly off screen so she's not holding her phone. That's like, she definitely hasn't been using her phone, and so they have the picture of her just enough off screen so that she's not holding her phone.
彼女は敵じゃないの？
敵だが
We didn't have to draw a new one.
協調体制をとっている。
マユリを殺す人なんでしょ？
そうだ。
However, Moeka's just a pawn, and one that no longer poses a threat. To save Mayuri, I need to capture the king. Well, the king's cell phone.
まあいい。それでこれからどこか行くんでしょ？
You ruined the analogy,
私も
Okabe.
ついていく。
正気か助手よ。
正気だけど助手じゃないから。
危険かもしれないぞ。
Kurisu falters for a moment, but quickly tightens her expression.
今日の私は死ぬことになってる。
I've experienced the future, so I know who dies today.
いや、お前は死なない。
だったら問題なし。世界から死なないことを保証されたようなものだから。
Right, Kurisu doesn't die today, neither does Mayuri. The only person who dies today is... Kiryu Moeka. This afternoon, she kills herself. I've already told Moeka about her fate. But in spite of that, Moeka doesn't seem upset, at least on the surface. She's expressionless as always. The only difference is she's not checking her phone as often. But Moeka is not a strong woman. Beneath that expressionless mask, is she struggling against the fear of death? I decide to confront Tenoji directly. I have Kurisu stand guard outside the house while Moeka and I go inside. Not that we're planning to break in, we ring the doorbell like honest citizens. Tenoji soon opens the door and invites us into the living room. Divergence meter sitting in its usual spot. I glance at the numbers. 0.523307%. There's still a long way to go before I reach 1%. How much more of this can I take?
よく来てくれたな。
It's just after dawn, much too early for guests, but Tenoji welcomes us with a smile. He even starts preparing some instant coffee.
ずいぶん早起きなんですね。ミスター・ブラウン。
まあな。 苗の学校の時間に合わせてるから基本的に早起きなんだよ。今夏休み中だがもう習慣になっちまってる。
お嬢さんはまだ寝ているんですか？
うっせえ、前のこと聞き出してどうするつもりだ。
Oh my god, please
そんな
stop.
襲うとしたらマジで殺す。
しませんよ。
I'm more interested in his wife. Don't take that out of context. There's still no sign of her. Is she asleep too? Or could she be hiding somewhere? I'd like to do a thorough search of the house, but of course that's impossible. And then there's what he said just now about seeing Nai off to school. That sounded like something a single father would say. I suspected that FB was Tenoji's wife, but that may have been a mistake. Maybe Tenoji is just another courier after all. Maybe he doesn't even know FB. There's the possibility that FB might not even be an Akiba. I need answers. But how do I get them? Moeka is just staring at the floor. I can't count on her for any bright ideas. And whether or not Tenoji's wife is FB, I don't think this man will fall for any tricks. I decide to go for the direct approach.
数時間前、この家の前に6人の男が集まり、とあるものを持ってフランスに渡った。そのことについて当然ご存知ですね。
Wow, he wasn't fucking around. That is about as direct an approach as you can get. Ballsy, my dude. Ballsy. This time, Tenoji doesn't give me his usual macho attitude. He just smiles softly.
それが
IBN5100。あなたは知っているはずだ。
幻のレトロ PC だろう。
This is too easy. He's never this cooperative.
あなたは何者だ？運び屋か？それともラウンダーか？
Instead of answering my question, Tenoji looks straight at Moeka.
おめえは裏切ったのか ?M4。
Moeka jerks upright. M4 is Moeka's code name, something only FB should know.
もしかして FB
Tenoji laughs once. Tenoji laughs once, a dry sound.
フェルディナント・ブラウンって知ってるか？
Moeka and I look at each other, confused by the sudden change of topic.
おいおい、ブラウン管を発明したノーベル物理学賞の偉人だぞ。
Tenoji has a thing for brawn tubes, I know that. But what does that have to do with anything?
フェルディナント・ブラウン。頭文字は？
FB
そういうことだ。
Gun! Tenoji casually produces a handgun. The motion is so smooth and natural, I don't even recognize it as a gun at first. Its heavy form gives off a chilling black luster. The muzzle is pointed at Moeka. Moeka and I are unarmed. We didn't plan for this. How could we have? We thought FB was Tenoji's wife, not the man himself.
一つ聞かせてください。あなたの奥さんは？
Also, the thickness on this man's neck. Can we talk about thick? This is the thickest neck I've ever seen in my life.
苗を産んだ時に死んだ。それが
I curse silently. No wonder I've never seen her. She's been dead for years. Tenoji is FB.
そんな。いやいや。
俺への依存の次は現実逃避か？
Keeping his gun trained on Moeka, the man I knew as Mr. Bronze laughs scornfully. We're at an overwhelming disadvantage. I was a fool to believe the direct approach would work. Now my recklessness is going to get both of us killed. No, not both of us. I don't die here. I'm here because I time leap on the 16th. That fact is written on the fabric of this world line. So if the attractor field model is right, I can't possibly die now, on the morning of the 15th. My survival is guaranteed by the same force that keeps killing Mayuri. However, Moeka has no such protection. She dies today. It doesn't matter how. She could easily die now, right before my eyes. What am I going to do about it? Nothing. Doesn't matter. My goal is to obtain FB's cell phone and send a D-mail to Moeka in the past. That is the reason I'm here. In any case, I mustn't let his handgun scare me. There's no turning back now. All I can do is stay on the offensive.
あなたがラウンダーの一員だったとはな。セルンの犬だったとはな。
犬か。間違っちゃいねえな。
Tenochi is like a different person today. I mean, what gave it away? The fucking gun? He's composed. He doesn't get angry, even when I provoke him. You wouldn't expect a man with a gun to be so calm. Is this who he really is? Was the gruff but good-natured storekeeper just an act?
撃てば銃声で娘が目を覚ます。
だからなんだ。
娘にそんな汚れ仕事をしている姿を見られたいのか。
俺の娘は見た目で判断するような器の小さい女じゃねえんだよ。
I grind my teeth.
よりによってあなたがラウンダーとは。橋田鈴はあなたにそんなことをさせるために世話をしてやったんじゃない。
Tenoji's smile stiffens for a second. Then he slaps his knee and laughs.
なんだよおめえ。
Fuck the music.
鈴さんのこと知ってんのか。だったらもっと早く言ってくれよ。
Tenoji and I haven't spoken about Suzuha in this world line.
だがな。ずいぶん分かったようなこと言うじゃねえか。鈴さんは10年も前に死んだんだ。その当時、岡部は8歳かそこらだろ。なのに鈴さんのことが分かるってのか。
わかるさ。
I glare at Tenoji. The anger and frustration are overwhelming.
俺の主観時間では彼女はほんの数週間前までこの時代にいた。
未来を変えるのは君たちにかかってる。私は荷物をこの秋葉原に絶対持ってくるから。そして君たちに責任を持って託すから。お願い、未来を変えてほしい。
Still remember her words vividly. Though it feels like it's been forever since she spoke them. In objective time, it was just a few days ago.
あなたのすぐ近くにいたんだよ。彼女は橋田鈴、いや天音鈴葉はセルンと戦うためにこの時代にやってきたタイムトラベラーだ。
日本。
気づかなかったのか FB。 あなたの恩人は2036年からやってきたんだよ。我がラボの一員ダルの娘だ。鈴葉はセルンを恨んでいた。なのにその鈴葉に世話になったあなたはセルンの犬か。これでは鈴葉が浮かばれないぞ。
でたらめ言ってんじゃねえよ。
Noji thrusts his gun at me. I barely manage to keep from flinching.
どうしてこんなことになった。
うるせえな。いろいろあるんだよ。
Complicated. Is that supposed to be an excuse?
本当に FB。
Moeka looks completely lost. I mean, yeah. Tenoji sighs and lowers his gun.
ああ、そうだ。
メールは
全部俺が書いた。なぜ女言葉かって？ カムフラージュだよ。正体を隠すためのな。ネットでもネカマなんて腐るほどいるだろ。マジな話、大変だったんだぜ M4。メールを送りすぎだタコ。おめえのくだらねえ相談に全レスしてやったんだ。感謝しろ。
Damn.
そんな FB は私のお母さんみたいな存在で、私は FB のためなら何だって。
そう仕向けたんだよ。おめえみたいなメンヘルは簡単に依存してくれるから操りやすい。
もうやめろ。
I approach Tenoji, but freeze once he points his gun at me again.
なぜ連絡くれなかったの？
連絡？ああ。IBN5100 を手に入れた時点で、おめえはもう用済みだからだ。
用済み。
That was obvious. I've been telling her that this whole time, that Epi abandoned her. That's, yeah, close enough. I guess it wasn't real to her until she heard it from FB's own mouth.
ダイレクトメールでメンバーを募集するのは、機密性の保持の観点からするとザルだけどな。それがラウンダーのやり方だ。そして IBN5100 を見つけたメンバーは任務達成となり口封じされる。例外なく全員だ。
What? What is he saying?
そうすることでセルンと委員会は機密を保持しつつ安い金で俺たちみてえなはみ出し者を利用してるわけだ。 あいつらにしてみればラウンダーは全員駒さ。悲しいことにな。
Without dropping a smile, Tenoji takes his gun.
任務達成はすなわち処分確定。扱いとしては犬っつうより家畜だな。
And presses it against the side of his head.
逆らえば家族が危険にさらされるんだ。大事な娘に手出しさせられねえだろ。
おい、よせ。
すずさんには悪いと思ってるよ。ほんと、なんでこんなことになったんだろうな。
He pulls the trigger. Brains splatter against the wall. Toji's massive body drops to the floor and sprawls out motionless. A dark red stain begins to spread over the tatami mats. He's dead. Tenoji is dead. Can we not with that sound? It's over, and I still don't understand what happened. Would he have killed himself even if we hadn't confronted him? Was his death too the will of fate? Tenoji had completed his mission. Maybe he chose to eliminate himself rather than face certain assassins.
バカだ。あなたは。
I bite down hard on my lip, pound my fist against the floor.
娘を残して何勝手に死んでるんだよ。
He meant to protect her with his sacrifice, but what is Nai supposed to do now?
しかもなんで笑いながら死ねるんだよ。
All rounders are expendable, he said. Does that mean FB was just another pawn? Is that how CERN operates? That's insanity. This can't be real. Nai, is she still asleep in the next room, blissfully unaware of her father's suicide? How do I explain this to her? Should I run? Again, strictly speaking, my purpose is to obtain FB's phone. Once I send the D-mail and change the world line, all of this will be undone. I can run like a coward and no one will know. I'll know. I timidly slide open the door to Nai's bedroom. It looks like you'd expect. There's a red backpack hanging next to the desk, and there's a futon laid out on the floor. But Nai isn't there. The window is open, the lace curtains are waving, as if to invite the fresh morning breeze inside.
いない。
Where did she go? No, don't tell me CERN kidnapped her. I don't even know if she was here when we arrived. None of this makes sense. This isn't the world I know.
携帯を探そう。
I need Tenoji's phone. I'm relieved Nai isn't here. I don't have to tell her about her father's death. I find Tenoji's phone in his pants pocket. I was ready to kill him for it if I had to. I never thought he would kill himself. And now I'm looting his dead body like a hyena scavenging for scraps of meat. I make myself want to puke. I leave as soon as I have the phone, dragging the catatonic Moeka with me. We regroup with Kurisu, who was worried sick waiting outside, and hail a taxi. I wish we hadn't spent so much time parked near Tenoji's house. Once the body is found, the police might trace the rental car back to us. Maybe we should have reported it first, but I'd rather not have to answer any questions. Besides, soon none of this will have happened.
そう。店長が。
First, we take Moeka back to her apartment. There, I explain to Kurisu what happened. Moeka didn't say a word on the way back. Now she's sitting on the floor by the entrance, staring off into space. It must have been quite a shock to hear Tenoji's, FB's, confession. The one person she trusted betrayed her. She may never recover. But were Tenoji's actions really a betrayal? I'm not quite convinced. Something felt off back there. Rounders who complete their mission are eliminated. No exceptions. That's what FB said. But in that case, why wasn't Moeka killed?
なあ、萌か。もしかしたら FB はお前を生かそうとしたのかもしれない。あの人はお前を見捨てたんじゃなくて突き放して生かそうとしたのかも。
This may just be wishful thinking. We'll never know FB's true intentions. But I want to believe that Tenoji did care for her, that there was a place for Moeka somewhere. What am I doing? Why am I trying to comfort Moeka? Maybe I'm just soft.
岡部、今すぐ D メールを送るべきよ。
Kurisu's expression is grave.
今を逃すといろいろ面倒なことに巻き込まれるかもしれないから。
Kurisu had the same thought as me.
あんたの目的はマユリを救うことであってセルンへの復讐じゃないでしょ。私たちが作ったタイムリープマシンのせいで犠牲が出るのは気持ちのいいことじゃない。
ああ、そうだな。
FB's phone is in my possession. There's no longer any reason to stay on this world line. It's only a matter of time until the police come looking for us. I should send the D-mail immediately. When I do, the present will be reconstructed. Tenoji will still be alive, Moeka will still be in contact with FB. And at last, the IBN 5100 will return to me. I just need to think about saving Mayuri and all will be well.
ダルはもうラボに来ていると思うか。
電話してみる。
I'll send the same message I tried to send earlier from Moeka's phone. Only this time, it will be from FB's phone. When Moeka sees it, she'll believe it to be an order from FB. Knowing her dependence on FB, she'll obey without question. It makes me sick to be taking advantage of Moeka's vulnerabilities like this. How am I any different from FB? I can think
あ
of
と
a
5
couple
分くらいで
ways.
ラボに着くって。
So we just wait until then.
ねえ、さっき 店長の家でのことだけど。
After closing her phone, Kurisu glances at Moeka and lowers her voice.
私外で見張ってて銃声が聞こえて、その直後ぐらいにあの子の姿見た。
あの子。
I ask, even though I already know the answer. There's only one person it could be.
なえちゃん、家の裏口から走り去っていった。呼び止めようとしたら目があったわ。
Kurisu bites her lip, as if fighting an unpleasant memory. It happened right after she heard the gunshot. If that's true, then Nai saw her father die. She saw her father die and ran away. Dude, my heart's doing that thing. Fucking chills, dude. I have chills right now. There's a knock on the door. Someone's here. Who? Moeka, who had been squatting by the entrance, slowly lifts her head. This is wrong. The timing's too perfect. Today, Kiryu Moeka dies. This world line has already approved that fate. Has it come for her already? Moeka reaches for the doorknob.
よせ、開けるな。
I try to stop her, but too late. Moeka is already turning the doorknob. The door opens slowly. And there stands...
こんにちは。
An innocent greeting. Child's voice. Familiar. How did she find this place? How did she get here? Why did she come here? She ran away. Our eyes met. Right after I heard the gunshot. I'm okay. I'm okay. So you could see the hair poking out weird. Nai steps up to Moeka. Moeka's body blocks my view. The next instant, Moeka drops to her knees like a string-cut puppet. Oh god, it's... An innocent laugh. Hands dyed with blood. A cleaver in her hand.
嘘でしょ。
嘘じゃない。
Nai's lips twist into a victorious sneer. She looks straight at me, her eyes burning with intense hatred. Those aren't the eyes of a child. What's going on here? Is this really Nai?
私は許さない。
The venom in her voice chills me to the bone.
父さんを死に追いやったお前たちを絶対に許さないから。私がこの手で殺してやるまで許さないから。
Kurisu and I stare in shocked silence. Neither of us can move a muscle.
岡部倫太郎。
My heart skips a beat. I feel like someone just walked over my grave.
お前は15年後に
Is that what this
殺す。
feeling is? Is that what this feeling?
それまで怯えて待ってなさい。
Fuck! What a chilling statement, dude. Nai tosses the knife away and leaves, laughing all the while. I hear the sound of her footsteps pattering down the stairs. Soon they fade away, leaving us in silence.
今のはなんだ。
Fuck!
悪魔か。何かが取り付いていたのか。
My entire body is shaking. I have to struggle just to move a finger.
いや、それよりも萌香が。
Moeka's clothes are stained in soaked in blood. There's a gaping wound in her abdomen where Nai stabbed her.
落ち着け。
Kurisu yells for me to come to my senses, and then she takes out her phone.
桐生さんの容体を見て、私は救急車を。待って。それより先に D メールを送ってしまった方がいいのかもしれない。
Even now, Kurisu is calm. I feel an irrational surge of anger at her composure, but I know that she's right. Once I send the D-mail, this world line will be undone. I know that, but I still run to Moeka's side. When I lift her up in my arms, I see that her chest is already covered in blood.
Moeka!
She's my enemy.
しっかりしろ！おい！
She killed Mayuri.
聞こえるか？Moeka!
I can't understand her. I can't forgive her. And yet, I can't help but call her name. Because in a sense, she's a victim too. Moeka slowly opens her eyes. Her eyes are blank and unfocused. She's fading fast. She tries to speak, but her voice catches in her throat. I bring my ear closer to her lips.
私あなたの大切な人を殺したから。
Yes, you did. Countless times. Not on this world line, but on others. The will of fate.
ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。
I silently squeeze Moeka's hand. Moeka doesn't squeeze back. She no longer has the strength.
私にとっては FB しかいなくて、私にとっての居場所、そこだけ守るためなら殺す。恨まれて当然。ごめんなさい。
許すよ。
Words come to my lips unbidden, but as soon as I speak them, I understand why. Moeka does not kill Mayuri on this world line. Even if she could, it would not happen until tomorrow. This Moeka, the one dying in my arms, is innocent. And yet, even now, she says I'm sorry. How can I not answer her?
許す。
Perhaps the words are meaningless. Forgiving Moeka will not cure Nai's hate, neither will Moeka's death. I don't even know if I truly mean what I'm saying. But still, I remember what Kurisu said. My goal is to save Mayuri, not avenge her. So here, now,
お前を許す。
the anguish seems to fade from Moeka's face. Her eyes slowly close. A tear slides down Moeka's cheek. Her hand slips from my grasp. She is no longer breathing. Biting my lip, I lay Moeka to rest on the floor. I place her purple phone in my hands.
岡部、
Kurisu calls to me in a weak voice.
D メールを送るべきだと思う。もう準備はできてる。
あ、
Moeka and FB are gone, but Mayuri's fate remains unchanged. The universe still demands her death.
なあ、クリスティーナ。D メールを送って、ダイバージェンスが変わったら、萌香はそこで生きていると思うか？ それとも死んだままだと思うか？
あんたが言っていたアトラクタフィールド理論で考えるなら、ダイバージェンスが 1% 以上なら生きている確率は高くなる。ごめん、こんな思いやりもクソもない言い方しかできなくて。
いや、いいんだ。
Stand up. Moika's blood clings to my hands. It won't come off, even when I wipe it with a tissue. I stop trying and take out FB's phone. I nod to Kurisu. She calls Daru and tells him to activate the phone wave, name subject to change. I take one last look at Moika's body lying there. I think this one, if I remember correctly, this one's different, but I'm gonna do it anyways. Causality is a strange and terrifying thing. At the beginning of all this, Moika killed Mayuri. But now Moika lies dead, while Mayuri still lives. All because I changed the past. Moika, if you're going to apologize for a sin you didn't commit, then I must apologize as well. I am responsible for twisting your fate, and for twisting the fate of Tennoji Nai. I ruined that innocent girl's life, made her something other than what she was meant to be. Is it okay to just leave her like this? Of course, if I send the D-mail now, this world line will be undone. Nai's twisted fate will be corrected. There's no point in worrying about it. I should just think about Mayuri. I shouldn't burden myself with any more problems. Is this really okay? Of course it is. Send the D-mail. That's all I need to do. Why won't my fingers move? I already know what I need to do. And yet...
岡部、
さっきのあの子、様子が変じゃなかったか？
あの子ってナイちゃんのこと？
Yeah, that one. I nod.
まるで別人みたいだった。
15年後に殺すってどういう意味なんだ？
It bothers me. Does she know something? What was she implying?
岡部、気にすることない。
I'm worried about it! I'm fine!
D メールを今すぐ送って。それで何もかも解決よ。
I'm worried about it! I put FB's phone in my pocket.
見なかったことにはできない。
Nai's crime is partly my responsibility, and I need to know what she meant when she promised to kill me 15 years from now.
タイムリープする。ラボに戻ろう。
Kurisu sighs, but I pretend not to hear it.
というか、敵って。
Kurisu glances at Moika, then whispers into my ear.
彼女は敵じゃないの？
今は朝の7時前だな。
は？そうだけど、何よ、いきなり。
After time leaping 4 hours back, I find myself in front of the station. This is right after Moika and I met up with Kurisu after returning from Narita Airport. After this comes the Tennoji residence. Moika is standing a few meters away, kicking the dirt in boredom. Moika was dead just a few minutes ago, but now she's perfectly fine. I feel no surprise. I suppose I've grown accustomed to this particular facet of time travel. After all, I've seen Mayuri come back to life countless times already. There is one other thing experience has taught me. Today, Moika and Tennoji will die, and there's nothing we can do to stop it. I know it's cruel, but I didn't come back here to save them. I don't have the means to, and it isn't my problem. The problem is Nai. We arrive in front of Tennoji's house, just like we did before I time leaped. But this time, I wait outside with Kurisu. Moika enters alone, expressionless as ever. While we wait outside, I tell Kurisu what's about to happen. I also tell her to wait a little while after she hears the gunshot, and then to go inside and take Tennoji's phone. It feels like an eternity passes in silence. And then... Kurisu gasps. Her body goes stiff.
本当に銃声が。
I immediately look around. Just as Kurisu told me, I see a girl come out of the window. She walks away quickly, but at the same time taking care not to make a sound. That's not how a child acts after witnessing her father's death.
待て。
Nai looks over her shoulder. She spears me with eyes full of hatred. Oh god, that face, stop it! That alone is enough to make me shiver. Same. It's pitiful, but a tiny little girl is making me nervous. Something is very wrong here. This Nai is like a completely different person. I want to know her true identity. That's why I time leaped instead of sending the D-mail. Nai is still running, ignoring my calls to stop. I run after her. Out of shape though I may be, I'm still more than a match for a 12-year-old girl. The distance between us quickly shortens. Nai keeps running, occasionally looking back at me and grinding her teeth in a very unchildlike manner. Normally, a child being chased by a man will cry and scream things like, "Stay away" or "Help." But this girl says nothing. The only sound is her heavy breathing.
止まれ。
I call out to her once more when she's nearly in arm's reach. Unexpectedly, Nai slows down and eventually stops to catch her breath. Looks like she realized she can't get away. From the sound of her breathing, she must be at her limit. We're alone. Kurisu and Moeka must still be at the house, and the streets are empty thanks to the Obon holidays. Perfect. I was afraid someone might report me as a child molester. Now I can get what I need to know out of this strange girl who looks like Nai. I call out to her as I catch my breath.
お前は本当に天王寺苗か。
Nai glares at me as she catches her breath.
お前はこれから桐生萌香を殺すつもりなんだろう。
そうよ。
She punctuates her nonchalant reply with a cruel smile. That is not the face of a child.
父親の復讐か。
お前と桐生萌香は父さんを殺した。
店長が自殺したんだ。自分で頭を打ち抜いた。それに俺たちが行かなくてもあの男は自殺していただろう。逆恨みだ。
そんなのしたことじゃない。
What?
父さんが死んだ時、桐生萌香はその場にいた。でも父さんが死ぬのを止めなかった。だから許さない。お前もだ、岡部倫太郎。あの場にはいなかったけど、お前に関わらなければ父さんは死ななくて済んだ。
Wait, is she blaming me for finding the IBN 5100? How the hell was I supposed to know?
だがお前はすぐには殺さない。殺せないからな。
The tiny little girl, barely half my weight, looks up to me with a smile that chills my blood.
お前を殺すのは
the giggle!
15年後。それまでせいぜい怯え続けるんだ。
Ah, the giggle! A horrifying giggle. I get on my knees and grab Nai by the shoulders. I hold back my terror and meet her stare for stare. And yet, this girl doesn't even flinch.
お前は誰なんだ。
She isn't Tenoji Nai.
15年後に殺すってどういう意味なんだ。
そのままの意味だよ。お前は15年後に私が殺した。
Killed? Why is she using past tense? Nai laughs once, a harsh and mocking sound. Then she leans in and whispers.
わからないのか？今こう言った？お前は誰なんだって。私は天王寺苗だよ。間違いなくな。ただし私は15年先の記憶まで 思い出している。
No. Did she?
タイムリープを。
I suddenly whips out a knife, catching me completely off guard. This shit haunts my nightmares. Like, real talk, this is fucked. I love it. I hate it, but I love it. Look at this shit. It's so creepy. Dude. Nai drives the knife into the elbow of my right arm, which was grabbing her shoulder. Blood sprays on Nai's face, but she doesn't even blink. Instead... Oh, the giggles! Stop giggling! Crazy kid. She laughs. Just like she laughed when she killed Moeka. The intense pain brings me to my knees. For a moment, I panic, but somehow I manage to convince myself that I'm fine. I won't die here, I tell myself. This world line won't accept that. It's just like Nai said herself. Not that she won't kill me, she can't. If she tried, something would surely interfere.
お前を殺した時のこと教えてあげよっか。なんかレジスタンスの創始者とか言ってセルンに歯向かってたみたいだけど、私が拉致して監禁してやって考えつく限りのありとあらゆる拷問を加えてやったよ。お前は痛みに泣きわめきクソとしょんべんをまき散らしながら私に命乞いをした。実に醜かったよ、岡部倫太郎。しょうがないから最後に私自身の手で喉をかき切ってやった後、気が済むまでめった刺しにしたのよ。一体何回刺したか私でもわからないぐらいにね。それが15年後のお前が迎える最後だ。父さんを殺したお前を待っている運命だ。
Nai grabs my arm and digs her tiny fingers into the wound. My nerves burst into flame, not just in my arm, but throughout my entire body. The pain forces the air out of my lungs in a blood-curdling scream. I can't shake off Nai's hands. I can't even move a finger against the pain.
セルンはお前の作ったタイムリープマシンを回収して15年もの間一切手をつけずに保管したままだったんだ。私はそれに目をつけたの。15年後ラウンダーになった私はお前を殺してからそれを使ってここまで戻ってきた。一度にたった48時間しか遡れない欠陥品だから随分苦労したけど。
To travel 15 years in 48-hour increments would take... Damn, I can't calculate through the pain.
単純計算で2738回だ。
That many.
他にもいろいろあったせいで実際の回数はきっと倍以上だけどな。自分が何回タイムリープしたかなんてとっくに忘れたよ。
Now I get it. When I came to this world line, I went back to the lab after learning of Moeka's suicide. And once I got there, I found evidence someone had used the time leap machine. So that was Nai's final time leap. Nai keeps staring into my eyes as her fingers crawl deeper into my wound. I bite my lip in a desperate attempt to bear the pain. My blood won't stop flowing. It collects into a puddle and stains the asphalt dark red.
私はこの復讐のためだけに生きてきた。誰にも邪魔はさせない。絶対に桐生萌香も殺してやる。この手で自殺なんてさせるもんか。そんな生ぬるい死に方で逃がしたりはしない。
たったそれだけのために15年もの歳月を遡ってきたのかよ。
She's insane. What tipped you off, buddy? It was Moeka and I who made her that way, who turned an innocent little girl into a creature of hatred starved for vengeance. We stole 15 years of her life. 15 years, I can't understand what it's like to live with such hatred for so long.
たったそれだけだと。
Stop! Nice slender fingers pry deeper into my wound, so deep I can feel her fingers against my bone. Oh, it's
お
awful.
前たちにとってはたったそれだけかもしれないが、私にとってはお前と桐生萌香を殺すことだけが全てなんだよ。
それで萌香を殺してその後はどうするつもりだ。
その後
遡ってきた15年をもう一度やり直すのか。
そんなものに何の価値がある？価値なんてないんだ。
She does not cry. She does not sneer. Her voice is flat and emotionless as she speaks these words. There's nothing more I can say to this girl I destroyed. At last, Nai lets go of my arm. She looks in disgust at her hands, now covered in blood, in my
お
blood.
前は今何もしなくていい。ただ怯え、後悔し続けろ、岡部倫太郎。15年後に私が迎えに行く時まで。
I'm powerless to stop her from running away. Well, that was a fun little field trip, huh? Dry laughter leaks out of my mouth. That girl's disconnected from causality, just like I am. I asked her what she would do after killing Moeka. She didn't answer. The first time she lived it those 15 years, all she had was revenge. After time leaping thousands of times, she exacted that revenge. How will she live those 15 years the second time around? Will she kill me again? Will her revenge be complete then? Or will it continue forever until even she forgets why? The thought squeezes my heart like a vice. Does time travel bring nothing but pain? We built a time machine out of curiosity. We were fools. If not for our meddling, CERN would not have targeted us. Mayuri would not have died. Suzuha would not have had to travel to the past. Ferris would not have lost her father twice. Ukiko would not have had to forsake her feelings for me. And Moeka would not have killed Mayuri. Kurisu runs up to me. God damn it. She turns pale at the sight of my bleeding arm.
あんた、その傷どうしたの？大丈夫？
She kneels in front of me. Worry is etched on her face.
携帯は
持ってきたけど。
Kurisu hands me FB's phone. I take it and start typing out the mail with my left hand.
説明してよ。その傷はどうしたの？救急車呼んだ方がいい？
落ち着け。今から D メールを送る。
あ、そうか。世界線が変わればこの傷もなくなるのかな。
Yes, but who cares about my wound? Tenoji's death, Moeka's death, and the damage to Nai's soul will all be undone. That's what matters. I finish the mail and take a breath.
なあ、
Stop search, PC unneeded,
ど
stand
うして
by.
店長は
Uh,
萌香を殺さなかったんだろうな。
どういうこと？
Any rounder who finds an IBN 5100 is silenced, no exceptions. That's what Tenoji said. In that case, the one who should have been eliminated first was Moeka. She found the IBN 5100 in the first place. And yet, Tenoji cut contact with her instead. And when we exposed his true identity, he shot himself, not Moeka.
俺は思うんだ。やっぱり店長は萌香を助けたかったんだよ。
Perhaps that's just wishful thinking. Perhaps I'm just looking for an ounce of comfort in all this suffering. Even if that was Tenoji's intention, it was meaningless. Moeka will die today, whether by her own hand or Nai's, it doesn't matter. However,
ベータ世界線ではそうなるといいな。
they are the enemy. I should hate them for killing Mayuri. But in some sense, Tenoji, Moeka, and Nai are all victims of my foolish experiments. I pray that they can live normal lives, at least on the Beta world line. For their sake, as well as Mayuri's, I must send this D-mail.
悪いな。ない。
Once this D-mail is sent, this world line will be undone.
お前の復讐は果たされない。
The world shatters, warps, and reforms. Eventually, those sensations disappear, and color gradually returns to the world. I find myself standing in the street near the lab. Okay. The burning pain in my right arm is suddenly gone. I look down. There's no wound, no blood. Instead, I'm holding a convenience store bag with 2 bottles of Dr. P. I guess it worked. I head straight for Moeka's apartment. When I get there, Moeka opens the door normally and peeks out at me. She looks fine, no signs of despair, no blood stain by the door, no knife either.
岡部君、ここどうやって調べ。
少し時間を潰させてもらうぞ。
I barge into the room. Hi, I'm here now. The hour of Moeka's death passes with no sign of Nai. The world line has changed. Moeka's right in front of me, but she sends me mail. Some things never change. I don't need an IBN 5100 anymore, Moeka. It feels like forever since we last conversed like this.
必要ないとは。
My supervisor told me to stop looking, Moeka.
FB からストップが。
How do you know about FB? Where did you get that information, Moeka? So FB's still alive. I feel relief, but also fear. I mustn't forget that he is my enemy. For now, however, I'm more interested in what Moeka just said. FB canceled her mission to retrieve the IBN 5100?
任務達成はすなわち処分確定。扱いとしては犬っつうより家畜だな。
I recall his last words. Perhaps he canceled her mission so that they wouldn't be eliminated. If that's the truth, then maybe he really was trying to save Moeka.
ただ怯え、後悔し続けろ、岡部倫太郎。15年後に私が迎えに行く時まで。
I wonder what happened to Nai. I can't get that childish yet hate-filled voice out of my head. On that world line, I turned an innocent girl into a murderer. I bite my lip hard, hard enough to draw blood. I won't fear you, Nai, nor will I repent. That world line has already been undone. But how will things turn out on this new world line? No, there's no point in thinking about it. The plan worked. The IBN 5100 should already be back in my possession. And if that's the case, then there's no need to stay on this world line either. On the way back to the lab, I stop by the Bronze-Tube workshop and peek in through the window. The 42-inch CRT is powered on, and Tenoji, FB, is lounging in front of it, reading the sports pages. FB is still alive. His daughter, Nai, has no reason to hate anyone now. I climb the stairs to the lab. There's nobody there but Kurisu.
桐生萌香のアパートに行ったか。
は？
Kurisu pauses her at-channel browsing session to look at me in confusion.
萌香さんのアパート？私が？行ってないけど。
そうか。
どういうことよ。
いや、言っていないならいいんだ。
I cut across the lounge and head straight for the development room. In the middle of that room sits the time leap machine. After a glance at the time leap machine, I scan the shelves. A large, familiar cardboard box. I was right. Inside the box is the IBM 5100, the legendary retro PC stolen from me by a twist of fate. At last, it has returned. The long battle is finally over. I did it. We can save Mayuri.
スーパーハカースーパーハカーカモン
That's going on the soundboard. Whatever I fucking make the all. I did.
ドルスーパーハカースーパーハカーカモン
Oh my god, I love this. I love this. I love it so much. Come on! I can't contain my excitement. My heart is beating like a jackhammer.
橋田ならいないわよ。コミマに行くって言ってたじゃない。
Oh, right. In that case, he won't return until evening. Mail. Haven't seen you in a while. Oh, are you gonna make... Oh, don't make me cry. Don't make me cry. Okarin's been acting strange lately, so Mayushi didn't go to Kamima today. Are you at the lab? Maybe I'll go there. Maybe I'll go there now. I haven't seen you in a couple days, you know? We usually see each other every day, so it's been really lonely. I know it's only been 4 days at most, but I'm used to being with you all the time. I'm your hostage, remember? Don't let go! It's incredible how 3 words. Don't let go. Oh my god, that actually, wow. It really is. It still surprises me how quickly and suddenly I can get just emotionally injured, you know? Okay. I can't wait that long. So I fire up the time leap machine and leap. That's close enough. As shape and color return to the world, I see Daru in front of his computer, sleepily playing an arrow game. On that note, I'm gonna take a bathroom break real quick. It's rare that I'm not doing like 20 of those, but you know. Alright, my cat's being an asshole right now, so she's she can just hop up, she knows how. But she decides to instead just meow at me for the rest of my life, I guess. Anyways, Steins, you're free to join me whenever you want. I will. Oh my god, okay. Kurisu's napping on the sofa. She probably just got done with her all-nighter on the time leap machine. Mayuri's not around. She probably went to Lukako's to beg him to cosplay.
Daru! Christina!
Super hacker, come on! That's just in my brain now. What?
Daru! Super hacker! Super hacker, come on!
Might just be the best thing ever. Kurisu jerks awake.
これよりオペレーションベルダンジョン
Hi!
最終フェーズを開始する
Welcome. You don't have to be loud McGee. My sonorous declaration earns only blank stares. Why are they so slow?
ダル IBN5100 だ
だから
だからではない IBN5100 があるのだよ
Come on, man!
そりゃあるっしょ。オカリンが持ってきたんじゃん。
そうだ俺が持ってきた柳林神社からな
オカリン、今日はやけにテンション高くね。
ちょっとぐらい寝かせろよ。
Kurisu rubs her eyes and complains. She looks dead tired.
徹夜明けなんだから。
ダル一つ聞くが IBN5100 の使い方について勉強はしたか
は？まあ一応。コミマ前のクソ忙しい時期に僕って偉すぎじゃね？イギリスだったらナイトの称号もらえるレベル。
ならば今日からお前のことをサースーパーハッカーと呼ぼう
Sir Super Haka.
だが断る。
くだらない会話は自重しろ。頭が痛くなる。
If Daru knows how to use the IBN 5100, then we can hack CERN right now.
全ラボ面に告げる
Mayuri's not here, but that's actually more convenient.
長き戦いにいよいよ決着をつける時が来た
That's heartbreaking that he would say that.
ラグナロックが開始されるのだ本作戦の概要はすなわちセルン本部の最新部に隠された極秘データを IBN5100 によるクラッキングで破壊することであるエシュロンなる卑劣な電子機器により奴らは我らの極秘情報をかすめ取った天津さえそれをもとに我らを特定し我らが開発した人類の夢タイムマシンの強奪をも目論んだ研究機関でありながらその裏で時空の支配者の座を望み非道なるゼリーマン実験を行う奴らに今こそ正義の鉄槌を下そうではないかそして真の時空の支配者がどちらなのか奴らの目にしかと刻みつけてやれ戦いが終わった時世界を陰で牛耳る支配構造はついに崩壊し再構成されるだろうそう我らが望んだ混沌がついに訪れるのだ
まあうるさい。
Trying to sleep! Kurisu gets fed up and rises from the sofa.
一体何なの？
オカリンの心の闇は誰にもわからんでござる。
そもそも設定じゃ岡部は狂気のマッドサイエンティストじゃなかった？なのになんで正義の鉄槌とか言っちゃってるんだ。
Got a point.
ついカッとなってやったんじゃね？今は反省してるかも。
お前たちごちゃごちゃ言っていないで準備しろ
I like how they're talking about him like he's a fucking exhibit at like a zoo or something.
準備って何ぞ？
why is he doing that? Oh man, that's so weird. Why is he doing that for?
だから今言っただろう。セルンへのクラッキングだ。
クラッキングは良くないと思う。
なんという優等生的発言。お前は委員長か。
捕まりたいの？
そういう問題ではない。
I fight the urge to grind my teeth. Instead, I fix Kurisu with my stare.
俺はこのターニングポイントへ到達するためにこれまで戦ってきた。今こそアルファ世界線を離脱しマユリを救う。邪魔をするというなら誰だろうと許さん。絶対にだ。
岡部。
必死すぎ。
I've got a good reason. To them, only half an hour has passed since the time leap machine was built. But to me, many days have passed since this ordeal began. I'd say easily weeks at this point, right? Jesus. I bow my head deeply.
俺の願いを聞いてくれ。
Or else Mayuri will die, and in 26 years, the world will be ruled by CERN. Suzuha's sacrifice will have been for nothing. Daru claps me on the shoulder, then smiles broadly and thrusts his thumb skyward.
別にあんたのためにクラッキングするんじゃないんだからね。
Let's go, my tsundere super hacker! Let's go! My boy!
これはひどい。
I burst out in laughter. Sir Super Hacker. Sir Super Hacker, Tsundere version, is here to save the day. I couldn't have asked for a better right-hand man. As Daru hooks the IBN 5100 to his PC, I explain the situation one more time. Let's hope this is the last.
つまり全ての元凶は俺が最初にダルに当てて送ったメールにある。それがセルンのエシュロンに捕らえられてしまったせいでラウンダーに目をつけられた。結果マユリは殺され、俺たち3人はセルンに拉致され、タイムリープマシンは強奪される。
Some years after that, I assume, Daru and I escape and form the resistance to which Suzuha belonged.
どれだけ回避しようとしてもダメだった。世界はアトラクタフィールド理論により同じ結末へと収束してしまう。
それもし全部妄想だったらオカリンはラノベ作家になれると思うお。
事実だ。すべてな。マユリの死を避けるためには。
And to free Suzuha's future from CERN.
アルファ世界線から脱出するしかない。これまでに歪ませた事象を全て取り消すことでそれは可能になると俺は考えている。つまり目指すべきは俺がダルに最初の D メールを送る前のベータ世界線。そこへ到達するためエシュロンに捕らえられた最初のメールデータをセルンのデータベースから削除しなくてはならないのだ。
What Suzuha said is correct, then erasing that data will take us over 1% divergence and back to the beta world line. It was just one short email, barely 36 bytes, but it changed the course of human history. The butterfly effect.
面白いわね。
Kurisu mutters as she sips her hot coffee. It looks like she's already recovered from her exhaustion.
マキセ氏は信じるん？
仮説としてはね。できれば客観的データが欲しいところだけど、それはさすがに無理だし。
安心しろ。お前が改良を施したタイムリープマシンの出来はガチだった。
当然でしょ。
She doesn't deny it. That's just like Kurisu.
それに IBN5100 でのハッキングはもともと予定してたことだし、とにかくアクセスしてみて、もしそこにメールデータが存在していたなら岡部の言葉は事実だと証明される。
要するに 考えるな、感じるんだということですね。わかります。
いや、逆にわかんないけど。
Sure, yeah, that's what she said.
考えるよりやってみろということだ。
Daru extracts his massive body from the space behind the desk, plops himself down on the chair, and wipes away his sweat.
つなぎ終わったお。ちょっと設定いじらないとダメだけど、10分しないうちに始められる。
よし。
それにしても元凶となった最初のメールね。それってあれでしょ？ ATF で見せてもらったやつ。私が死んでたとかなんとか。
そうだ。ラジカンでお前が殺されているのを目撃した俺はダルにそれを伝えるメールを送った。ダルはたまたま電話レンジカッコ仮の実験中で放電現象が起きて。
My voice trails off. Something is telling me to stop. Fear rises in my chest, a sudden, terrible certainty that I'm missing something vital. I frantically replay the conversation in my head. We must cancel all our changes to the timeline so far. The very first D-mail started it all. The one that said I died or something. Return to the world line that existed before I sent the first D-mail. An icy fist seizes my heart, and I turn to Kurisu with a look of pure terror. Our eyes meet. Those eyes of hers no longer show the sharp defiance from when we first met. Instead, they glow warmly with the light of curiosity.
何よ。
I was right. I had missed something vital, something dire. The world line I set my sights on to save Mayuri. The world line upon which Suzuha had staked her hope for the future. The world line I am most at last poised to reach the end of this long struggle. On that world line, Mayuri lives. On that world line, CERN fails. And on that world line, on the 8th floor of Radican, Makise Kurisu dies. All right, that's all for today. Jiminy Jillikers. Man, I wish I could just. This is on the top of my list of games and movies and shows that I wish I could remove my memory and play them from the beginning again. You can't do that, unfortunately. That's not a function that the human brain has. Selective amnesia, unfortunately. But I do I will say that is obviously it's the anime also is pretty good with it, but I think the VN, there's just so much, and it's such a it's so things escalate so quickly, and there's just so much going on, and there's such a specific goal at any given time that you really do you just forget the implications of the end of this, right? At the end of the road, you forget what that means, right? And I just man, that they do such a great job of setting that realization up. Also, another thing I wanted to say, they need to make, I don't know if I want it in visual novel form. They could make a manga about it. I don't know. They need to make something. I need the story of that World Lines Nigh. It would be a fucked up story. It would be a tremendously heartbreaking story, but I need that story. I need that story. I would start it. I would probably want it to start around the time she became a rounder, or entered the rounders or started doing rounder stuff of her own volition, right? And maybe around the time she hatched the plan to get the time leap machine or kill Okabe. I just need that, okay? I think I said this during that playthrough. But that's what I thought when I first played Linear Bound and Fetagramma. That's what I thought that the Nye chapter was going to be, but it ended up being something else. And don't get me wrong, I love that chapter, I love that story. It's really good in its own right, but I couldn't help but be kind of disappointed just because of my own, like, I had my own expectation that came out of nowhere. I admit, I you know, that's on me, but I need that story. I need, like, someone at Steins Gate headquarters. What is it? Chiyomaru Studio. Whoever does the Steins Gate stuff, make that story. I need it. Give it to me. That's all for today. Bye.